book. Anyways, I'm so sorry, guys. That emote is so funny. I was just gonna go
Okay, so
out.
we can go deep. Oh no! Mina!
I'm trying to think, where else did we have a clock? So there's one in the hallway. Back there. Fuck you, chair.
Man, shut up, Ballsy.
Macaroni in a pot? No, no one got the reference? That's fine. That's fine. It's okay. Time for bed. Ross. Joe?
Kill.
Joe?
Who did you kill?
Joe?
Who did you kill?
I
Kimchi,
killed
who?
Moogle! How did that even happen?
We're going back to.
Okay.
That's how lonely I am.
Oh, you talk to yourself about it. Oh yeah, fuck. Turn it off. It's so. Oh my god. What the hell is that? Namu?
Apparently.
Namu, what the fuck is that? K-Chain, what the fuck is that?
Clone?
Yeah.
Hey, Chin, is that really you?
Granny wins.
Like, actually?
I'm coming
You're
for
not
your
lying?
ass first. You lucky I didn't come for you, even though we were on the same platform.
What the fuck?
I love the wholesome ooh boys.
Ooh.
Oh.
Dude, I pressed Q! I'm so mad. I'm just gonna go up and down. Dude, I'm so pissed at this guy. He gets me every single time. It's like... In the messages, you'll see the version and the IP. Yo. Hello, everyone. We were playing Fall Guys today. And listening to music, cause why not? People are already playing, so we're just gonna jump right in. You're gonna hear a lot of voices, a lot.
Isn't that so much faster?
It barely made a difference for me.
Nah, it made a big difference. What do you
No.
mean?
Hi
I
guys.
couldn't be like the only one to call.
Hello.
Who's
just joined?
Santa Claus?
Also,
That's
you have a
kimchi.
problem. You have a fucking potassium problem. And there's one
What?
stuck in the fucking course.
No, I mean, you can skip the hand.
We found out
Yeah, I
Ballsy
was like,
obsessed with bananas.
No, it's because apparently I could change it, but I never bothered to change, so it always throws bananas.
Aww.
Of course, you're just stupid potassium.
I'm very confused.
Yo, don't worry about it too much.
Don't worry about it.
No,
Okay.
Don't even think about it ever again.
Okay.
Oh
For
no,
sure. I
Rando's
just-
gonna be the only one that makes it. Oh my god,
let's
I'm
go.
There you go.
Bananas.
Speedo game!
Oh, it's Kimchi. Hi.
First person
Speedo game!
Here you go.
Let's go! Speedo game!
Yeah, we playing Fall Guys today. I'm streaming too, guys. Just letting you guys know.
Okay.
Is it?
So, how did
uh,
Kimchi canceled?
This
What do you mean,
Oh.
not-
Oh my god!
much I
Why
hate
would
this
that
game.
be the goal?
Yeah, I might
Ballsy,
just
we win
like
together,
stop
Speedo
playing.
game.
Yeah, I'm getting bored of this already.
How do I lower the volume of Fall Guys? Hmm.
You
Oh, you
don't.
just
Uh,
you had to leave.
You
I think you
just
leave the lobby.
need
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah,
leave.
true.
That's it.
No, I'm not lying. You have to leave the lobby
End
and
of
then
story.
get those settings.
The true answer is you don't.
I want to lower it.
I just lowered it through a volume mixer.
How's
Oh, much
your
calmer.
day?
Nice.
Yeah.
They have a volume bar in settings. You can just
Yeah.
turn it down there.
Oh yeah, it's Windows 11. They have that now. So Fall Guys, you're going back to 0.
Oh, that's a knife.
DP. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, I also pinned it on your chat as
61R.
Thank you.
I was waiting for the balls to
Benji, if
drink.
you wanna play, you can come join too.
I didn't finish it.
I know you did.
Buddy.
I was waiting for it.
Buddy, stab
Trying
her!
to
Stab
find
her!
it. No.
Oh, just waiting for Kimchi.
What the heck clip was that?
Fun fact.
What clip?
Oh no, whatever the hell played. It's crazy.
Oh, did I hear a little bit of southern accent
know.
there? Is Kimchi from the south?
Hell no.
What?
It's crazy. I thought I heard something southern.
No.
I think you're hearing things.
I've been drinking soju. I could hear things. Yes. All right.
Makes sense. Makes complete sense now.
All right, so Kimchi is here.
Kimchi's here.
I'll play
Present.
one more since my wife joined, but it's
Hi,
probably
hi.
gonna be the last one until you're ready to play Outlast.
Kimchi's
Okay.
your wife?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, which makes her my second mom.
You have no second mom. I am a single mother to you.
Oof.
And we're married to Kimchi, which therefore
I
makes
am
me...
not dumping that responsibility on Kimchi.
No. I have adopted, but I have no responsibility.
Okay, fair.
Damn, Lando, you got some mommy issues, man.
She dropped me on my head 10 times! I don't want mom
Oh my god, Panda, set me on fire. Jeez, Panda, why would you set me on fire like that? What?
Twice a day.
How's your stream, Panda?
Keep the brain damage into me.
I
It's not
haven't
my
been
fault.
speaking for a long time, so my voice
Having
sounds
3 big toes and 2
not
bombs.
warmed.
See, Lando, I've been dropped in my head
Wait,
too, and
who
I
said
came out
what?
fine. So, I'll let you
I've
know.
been
What?
dropped twice a day.
Oh, I need to turn the
Oh,
head up.
jump club. Oh, then again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Are you still streaming?
You have not been dropped twice a day.
What a welcome back indeed.
They've been dropped more than
Because
10
it's so
times.
late.
Sorry, I think
This
I got,
is
like,
not a
maybe,
competition to see who
No,
can drop
I've
more
been
on their
dropped
heads as
twice
a
a
child.
day.
Oh god, why? We need
Welcome
warm-ups
back
before I start
and,
playing
quick
this.
ban.
This is kind of a warm up.
I am
This is
ready.
a warm-up.
With the jumping. Lunar, why?
You came next to me, man. I just gave you a hug, okay?
Pause.
Oh, hey, Joe, what's up? Come here. Huggies.
Nephew, get off me.
I get hug.
Is that you?
Oh, we
shit.
gotta win.
Oh,
Video
fuck.
games,
Hey,
gotta
Santa
win.
still got it.
Yeah, I
Jorge and Margo
survived.
died.
Bork, I haven't spoken in a long time
Nice.
either. Let me
Well,
try.
Alligators down.
Mika.
Oh.
Mika?
Who pushed you?
Pikachu.
Oh,
Oh,
Mika
God, we
just
got a
here?
Pokemon in this
Oh,
channel.
see, we gotta win. Speedo games.
You
gotta
want to
win
hear?
this.
You want to hear Pokemon? I got you, my dude.
Oh no. Oh no.
What? Okay, I'm kind of hyped now. Better not disappoint.
Pikachu.
Is this a
so
soundboard?
cute.
Nah,
so
that's her.
cute. So cute. That's
That was
my wife.
Ori.
Did Ori just do a Pikachu without any like point redemption or anything like that?
That's
That's
my
a
wife.
first.
Yeah.
Attention is all I want.
Trust me, I wish it was a fucking soundboard. That shit hurts.
I mean, if you record it once, we'll make it to a sound thing for you. Oh no!
Yo, stop.
Sorry, Joe.
I didn't know there was wind.
What do you mean?
It's breezy up in here.
Fucking bunted.
No, not that one. Not that one. No.
Hey, yo, Santa down.
Absolutely.
No. That's not.
Absolutely. Hey, Lando. Do you want to redeem yourself?
No, I'm going with Ballsy. We're going Speedo gang.
You were saying?
Ballsy, you gotta win. You gotta win. You got
Oh
this.
no. Oh,
Everyone died?
Wait, who won?
I.
Oh,
Nobody
no one
died.
won.
How did nobody
why didn't
win?
you
Y'all all
You guys
wiped
What
died
is
at
this
the end.
bullshit?
Don't know.
Ozzy, why didn't you
You
die?
Ori with the free Pikachu
I
for
blame Joe.
real.
The game really just hit us
To
with
me?
how cute y'all are losers.
Oh my
I'm
God.
a loser. I knew that.
Yes.
My mom told me when I was born.
No, you're.
Oh no!
Asian
Kimchi, no!
What?
Vicky, if it makes you feel better, you're a
Joe,
winner in
it
my eyes.
auto
Like,
shouts Panda out.
He gets an
No.
extra one.
Oh,
Kimchi
okay.
ain't a princess.
It's Panda.
What's that? Spiral of Woo. Oh, we can try that
Hold
one.
Yeah, we got it.
Hey,
I remember
Ballsy.
that one.
Here's a fun fact for you. It doesn't matter how much potassium you have unless you have some magnesium in your diet. Otherwise, it just goes right there.
I wanted something that spit out
We say
milk,
yes.
but it would look sketchy.
I have a better fun fact. 3,042,741 bananas will cause you radiation poisoning.
Yeah, because potassium.
What?
How do you know
Too
this
many
fact?
bananas?
Don't
Google.
question it.
Google. I know that. I knew that fact as well.
Born Winters ended up losing. Jeez.
I'm currently
What
under
is this?
investigation by the CIA.
Why is everybody faster than me?
Well,
Skill
I
issue?
have a genetic
That's only a
advantage.
skill issue.
This is a skill issue.
Look, this is the one thing I should be
Generation
going
diff?
at.
You faster.
Press escape and then enter.
If I press Alt F4, I'll probably be faster.
Oh my god, my game just kicked me out. What the hell?
Wait, what?
Yeah. Who pressed Alt F4?
I mean, I just said it for fun, not to do it.
It legit said bye.
I'm starting to
Somebody
believe.
said hit Alt F4 and Kimchi was fucking Thanos snapped from existence.
Like, that sounds like a genuine good idea.
Bro, where'd my
Sabotage.
game go?
Fudge.
Ah, shit, I messed
Kimchi
up.
got banned.
I just
God damn it.
started.
Kimchi got
What the
banned. She's gone
fuck?
forever.
I was doing good.
Oh,
No, it's actually not letting me back on.
Oh, you should be
Hold on.
able to be back on after we finish this
yeah,
one.
it's once
No, I
we're
mean like the
finished.
game won't open.
Oh,
Kimchi got
Check to see if it's
banned.
still running the background task manager.
Yeah, I will. I'll be right back. What kind of bullshit is this? Hello? It's not playing in Task Manager, which is fucking odd. Is there... Fall Guys launch failed. It's already playing in the background, but it's not, because I just opened up my Task Manager. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's not on. Let me go ahead and end this one's task. Let us see. Trying to get back on. How's everyone's day though so far? Thank you for the hug, Pan. I'm hugging you back. Is there a difference? Is there a camera difference at all? Because I am using a cam link, so I have no idea if it's better or worse. And you guys can hear the music, yeah? Let us see. Yeah, we're already using it. It should be pretty good. It's picking up my hair color really well, which is worrisome because I have some brass portions right here. Yeah, it's not letting me load up. It's not letting me load up Fall Guys. Jeebus. Why is it like this? It says I have an error code. It says that it's running, but it's not. Ooh, this is bad. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm not gonna try to restart my PC. Oh, Pan, stop. That's too sweet. You're too sweet. Yeah, no, it's not letting me back on.
Damn,
Guys,
get
it's
pulled
not letting
out.
me on.
Did you
Oh
actually
my
Chug,
god,
chug,
dude, this is a
chug,
trash
chug.
game. Trash game. Wow.
Kimchi, did you straight
You
up
alt
get
F4
banned?
once and you can't. The game breaks.
Lando, what'd you say?
Did you straight up get banned?
It says that it's running, but when I go to my task manager, it's not on, so I don't know where it's at.
Do you
Probably
have
they
it
scroll all the
installed
way
on
down.
Steam or like Epic?
It's
Fall
on
Guy-
Epic.
And if it's on
DC.
Epic, try them.
Does
That's a
Epic
what?
have a
Wait,
force quit button?
try closing down Epic.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I don't
end the
restart.
process for Epic too.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
probably.
Just
So end
did.
both.
Wait,
List
let me
all
see.
the
Let me see her
full
stream,
guys.
Kimchi.
She's not showing that part of her stream.
Oh, is she not? Okay.
No,
I
just her
can
face.
show it.
Oh yeah, we gotta go lurk on Kimchi's stream
So-
now.
Who put
It's
that?
not working. You might have to restart it.
I'll
I don't
pause it
want to
then.
restart it. I don't have microaggression. Don't worry.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
What? Who's talking?
That's a shame.
Yeah, it's not running, guys.
Oh god,
I have
just-
macroaggression. Fuck everything.
Putting you in
There's
heaven.
like chill
I mean-
music going in FatalKimchi's stream.
Yes.
Use a
Is
wrench.
it under
it's gonna work.
details? Details? Details of what? My whole life?
Wrench to fix Fall
Just a whole
Guys.
bunch of bullshit
Your whole
there.
life.
you smash the computer with it. It might work.
Yeah, wait, no, but let's do digital death one without Kimchi. You should probably hate it.
Oh,
Oh,
oh
let's
wait,
just
hold
wait.
on. I see it. And
Just a little bit longer.
I don't think you're gonna wanna do this one, Kimchi.
It's okay.
See,
It's fun
look,
to torture
look.
yourself.
Launch failed.
You got banned. Sorry.
Ooh.
Jesus.
I was waiting for it.
Oh.
Yo, how far did Fall Guys fall?
Oh, pretty far.
Hmm.
I mean,
Oh, we have to
restarting your
restart it.
computer will like.
I'm sure
fix
somewhere in
everything.
I'm sure somewhere in Russia there's a game that's called Fart Guys.
Uh,
I don't know.
What kind of like lame ass dad joke is that?
is that a dad joke?
In Korea,
I
they
feel
play
like
real
that's not
Fall
it.
Guys. It's called
I mean,
Squid Game.
I mean,
Games.
in,
I knew you were gonna say that.
Oh,
in Russia, they
Lord.
got that Obama.
Are we doing dad
Obama
jokes
fried
now?
chicken.
When did Obama go
Are
to
we
Russia?
doing dad jokes?
I don't know,
Yes.
but they got Obama fried chicken.
I'm officially almost full nerd. I built myself a Magic the Gathering deck, and I'm only waiting on 4 more cards to come in the mail.
Yeah.
You
What
color
finally
is it?
almost became a full
What
nerd.
color
Lori.
did you build? Oh my god! Don't tell me you built red.
Black and white.
Black.
Oh, what's up, nice?
I'm building a vampire deck because my friend runs
Nice.
Sheldred and I fucking hate it, and I've built a deck to
Please.
mainly counter
Oh,
him
it's
and
loading.
basically make myself the pain of his own existence.
Well, if
Oh.
I manage to call my friend and he still kept my cards, I'll send you about triples and quadruples of all the Sengir family cards that I had.
Nothing
I had
says
them all.
fuck you than a blue deck though.
I do want to eventually build I have a green and white deck, and then I have a black. I'm building the black and white deck, but the green and white is like a pre-built deck, like pre-built commander deck, just to
No.
play with like newer
Ooh, I
people that
think I
go to
need
the
take
shop.
my filter off.
I definitely understand what's going on here.
I need to take my filter off. I look way
Nerd
too
shit,
pale.
Lando,
Holy.
nerd shit.
Where
I
is
play
this?
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Where's my camera?
Okay,
And this
that's
is why
fine.
you're
Yo.
Take this
affected.
filter off.
Mm-hmm.
What was that mechanic? There are a couple of commanders that operate even in the command
let's
zone.
see,
I forget what that was called.
Turn my brightness off. Oh god, no.
Fuck.
Well, it's been a
That
long
was
time.
wrong.
I haven't played
Oh,
in
it's
the last
is
15
Celeste
years.
Pan here?
so-
There's a black and white one. I don't know if it was a vampire.
I just saw the name Pan, so I was wondering if that's Celestic.
Well, here I'll tell you the commander I'm running. I'm running Alenda the Dusk Rose.
Oh, is that the one where
The
it
one that
gets
has
more
lifelink.
powerful?
Yeah, so lifelink whenever another creature
Oh.
dies, put a 1/1 counter on her.
Oolek.
When she dies, create a one
Oh, it looks like it's
X
working.
amount of 1/1 vampire
like it is
tokens with
working.
lifelink.
Oh.
Equal to her power.
Who left?
There's a card that lets you double the token generations.
Oh, I have it.
Oh yeah, that
I
could,
have it in here.
That's gonna be a wombo then.
And
right?
I also have one that gives all of my
I'm here.
vampires lifelink. and
Hello,
there's nothing but
Kiki.
vampires.
Wait, I think
in here.
Kittens just left.
Yeah.
Kimchi
Hey, Kittens,
says
are you
you're
trying to
back.
get back in? Oh, you have to
we
go. Oh, you
need
have
to
to go
get
play
some
DVD. Okay,
sun.
gotcha.
Oh
Have a
my
kittens left, that's
god,
why.
you're not
Later,
wrong.
kittens.
But my dude,
I've
with
also
my
been getting
some
news
good
into a
about my
card game
work,
called Flesh and
I
Blood.
don't know if I'm going outside for a
Flesh and
while.
Blood?
It's
I don't know
it's
if
a
I can go
card game that
outside.
started
I
like
just
a little
can't.
bit before COVID,
gonna
but
be
didn't really take
crazy.
off because of COVID. And then like now it's just getting more popular again.
How do I not make myself so pale? Holy crap.
All right.
What can I
Digital
do?
death run. Here we go.
Was it
Can I
called
make-
You guys are gonna hate
Emerlaw?
this.
Warm?
Emerlaw,
Warmer?
something like that. I played Munchkin too, which was fun.
See you later, kittens. Thank you so much for joining in.
Bye, kittens.
Bye, kittens.
How are we
Don't forget
feeling
to
right now?
disembowel everybody you
Feeling
meet.
good. We buzz, we tipsy, drunk now.
Back.
not
Oh, she's playing Dead by
drinking
Daylight. That's
Yeah,
why.
that,
I
yeah,
probably
that's
should.
Yeah, that
Why should
I can
DVD.
order a
Yeah.
drink right now if I want to. Let me go
I've been
order
playing
a
that game
drink.
a lot lately. I'm
I
surprised I
refuse-
haven't
I
replaced my
refuse.
mouse.
I refuse to go back to that game.
Yeah, well, I
Same
can't,
here.
but even then, I wouldn't, unless it would be with friends.
Are we playing? Oh, why are we playing this one?
Oh, fuck this level. Hell no.
Don't
No, Santa.
blame it on
Who's
Blame it on Lando and
Who's
Joe.
that?
Hell,
Who's that?
well,
Get
half of us
off.
voted for it.
Can't lose him out.
Hey,
Ah,
what
so
the
close.
fuck?
Nah, Moose, stop being salty. You got outvoted.
fudge.
Ah,
You mean outvoted?
Who are you?
4 of us said yes.
Who's
Who's the 4? It was
There's
only
someone
you.
besides
It was
Ballsy.
you,
Also,
Lando.
was
It
named
was
here.
you, Lando.
Me,
and
Lando, Ballsy, and someone else said very top talented.
Who's that? Someone else.
I don't know their names. No offense.
Damn.
No, I ran out of. Oh, I bounced too far. I almost had it.
And
Yeah.
Either way, we're going to die.
Oh, Kimchi got it.
Oh fuck.
Oh,
I missed.
She had it.
No, I was so close.
Oh, why am I?
Oh,
Namu
God of a
needs
Hubble
to
to
stop
create
saying
this
someone
map.
got it because he just
Oh,
fucking
fuck.
faces it.
Yup. Shut up, Mamu.
Oh, Lando
Why
got
did-
it. Lando got it. Lando got it.
Kick you in the throat.
What is this? Look,
Only you.
I'm stuck. Okay, that's why.
I'm trying to help you.
You.
Oh shit.
Oh no, I almost died and I was switch away.
What is that?
Oh,
Oh
damn
no,
it.
oh, that's true. I need to jump on it.
No, what's
I got
disappointing is this
I
isn't
didn't
even
get
the final
enough.
piece of it.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, it's a little bit
Yes!
too. You need to be too precise.
What
to
did you do, Joe? Did you make it?
Yes.
So who's making it? Who's making it?
There's no checkpoints here.
Oh,
I think we can cheese it actually.
You can try all you want. We've tried so many times, Balti. I don't think so.
Okay, I will need to be able to just.
Oh,
stay on
man.
course.
Fuck.
Oh,
oh.
Yo, I just started. Why are we playing death
I
games?
bounced too far every time. Oh, dang it. I got stuck on it.
No, the thing that pisses me off is it takes
Panda,
2 to
when
7
are you
business days to
free?
respawn.
Oh, thanks.
That's
Thanks,
so
honey.
accurate. Why is that so accurate?
Oh, oh my god. I overshot it.
Yo, Santa! The fuck?
Shit.
Oh wait, no, I hit the bouncy! No, I hit it. It just didn't bounce too far enough.
Oh, almost.
Oh, fuck.
I'm sure. It can.
You guys are sadistic. Why would you want to do this?
I was almost at the end. I'm so salty.
It's so fun. What do you mean?
I'm not.
Oh.
I'm gonna practice this. I'm gonna get it.
Why did I keep falling? I don't
Fuck
understand.
my life! I'm just gonna stay right
Fuck
here and
that,
fuck
man!
all of you guys
Get
up.
out of my way!
I'm gonna fuck all of you guys up.
Oh
shit!
What?
Who hit me?
I land on a trampoline. I don't
Literally
go up.
every day. Panda,
Did you
but
get your elevator?
you cost toll to get to my
No, I got on
Please
top
stop
of it.
me.
It just made me go
I
forward.
Somebody
can't.
fucking Goomba stomped me with the
I love the Goomba stomps, right? The fucking Goomba stomps. Who
Bruh.
keeps
Oh shit.
doing
Oh
this?
shit.
Bruh.
Well, there goes the time.
No! Timer, go away. We need infinite time.
Nope.
Nah, because I
Super Mario
refuse.
this bitch.
We're doing it
Oh,
again.
shit.
Hello? Who's hugging me?
If we do this again, I swear. Once is
Hello?
enough.
Hugs.
No.
What do you mean? Once is
Huggies.
definitely not enough.
Huggies.
Yes, it is.
Huggies.
It is more than
One
enough.
I can go out to where you are at. It's pretty hood here. I'm actually gonna go to
Oh,
Berkeley
I got
on
ragged
Sunday. I mean, I probably shouldn't say that out loud.
Oh.
I mean,
2
I'm going
to 7
somewhere on Sunday that's kind of closer to you.
But
Yo, this is
then
like
one
Kimchi's
weekend
first
finish.
warm up, and her first warm up is freaking the death run.
Yeah, you guys made me sweaty
First
with my
warm-up is
warm-up.
bullshit.
Hey, I
Thanks,
said we should have done without her.
bruh. Oh, sorry, kind of.
Kimchi, you're muted in the
She's
Rhinos,
talking to our
rhinos,
chat.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
What's
yeah,
up?
yeah,
Talking to our
yeah,
chat.
yeah.
Do the rhinos, rhinos, rhinos. That one's
No, I don't need any more rhinos in my
Hey,
life.
hey, Lando, can you do me
What?
a favor? Can
No.
you shut the fuck up?
fun. No.
Let's just do races, you know?
I
Like
second
races.
my.
I was
I mean,
actually thinking
Lando
about
is
doing a.
okay. I just can't have him at 100% volume.
Yeah, keep me at like
That
20.
was your
How are
fucking fault for
you?
having him that high up.
Let me go ahead and
I'm gonna warn
finish
everybody.
that.
Keep me at 20.
What have
Keep
you
me
been
at 20.
up to?
He just
No,
keeps
that's
catching
right, you
you.
chill.
Give me
Everyone
that
go
20.
follow Fame
I like that
Leader.
talk about the pyramid scheme.
Freaking
Not gonna lie.
awesome
Give me a
stream.
That was a
200.
very informational one.
Oh boy.
It's just a game, dude. It's just come on, dude. Fame and don't come on. It's just a game, all right? It's
just a game.
I just like money.
Of course,
Oh,
Fame. How are you? I can check. Need to see if my folks need anything from me. I think I also might have stream that day. For sure. Let's do the IRL stream.
Hey yo.
No.
Oh shit. Ah.
Oh god, I'm stupid.
I fell down.
Freak, it's so hard to stay on that stupid little
I didn't-
stick.
That's what she
That's what she's. Oh, fuck.
Kimchi slow, as usual.
Hey. I was trying to think. I was like, do I say vile things today or.
That's the problem, Kimchi. You're not supposed to think. You feel me?
said. Oh, I'm
Just
stupid.
do it.
That's
Jesus.
sexist.
Did I go the wrong way? No, it's just Kimchiist.
Kimchiist.
Kimchi is.
Wait.
And that's why I
went
made
the
it.
wrong way.
Oh, wait, hold on.
How do I
What?
get up? How do I get up? Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
I went the wrong way. Hold up.
That's what you get for
Shit,
picking on my
fuck
wife.
my life.
It's fine.
Ow, my...
What the fuck is wrong with
No,
you?
no, please! Oh, please!
Oh my god.
Hi.
I can't see the fucking
Oh,
watermelons
shit.
coming at me in my
Okay,
face.
you
can't
and I
really
have, I
dive
have
here.
watermelons in my face.
Ah, here we go.
Panda.
And that's not
How you
a
doing,
problem.
Panda?
Yeah.
Watermelon's pretty good.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Oh,
We did
Joe, I
it.
thought you'd get a kick out of this. So I was doing some server
I'm gonna
management today, and I
sick
was
a lot
looking at
these days
random
People give me a
user
shout out
accounts.
to
How
you,
are
Panda,
you?
or
We have
Oh,
a service
hopefully-
account that
hopefully
was
you feel
titled
better.
TWSS, and they had like an
Gonna
actual
say,
like
I
acronym
Well,
for
that
it.
alert so much.
I was
Dude,
Dude,
gonna
you should
say,
definitely
I
give.
was
You should check out
sponsored
PlayStation, dude. Like,
I know we have a lot of people talking, so. But, have you been streaming? I don't think I've seen your streams in a while, so. I don't think I've seen your streams in a while. We're here to just like. We're here to just relax and chill with friends. It's Friday, you know? You know?
well,
I've
one
had
of them is
enough of
streaming.
watermelons coming in my face.
Who's streaming?
Stop it.
Hey, yo.
What?
I hope you kept the seeds.
Wait.
Oh, wow, then.
I'm confused. What did I come
Don't you be
back
talking
to?
about seed.
I was deafened.
You heard watermelons coming in someone's face.
Descent into
Yeah.
madness.
Okay, maybe I don't want to hear it.
Too late.
Oh,
Sailing the
God.
seas of cheese.
Hi guys.
I'm just being random with us right now.
Fatal Night, how are you? Thanks, and don't worry, we all have those kind of friends. Yeesh. Yeah, they're crazy. They're loud. I love them though. It's okay.
That's just like the most like creepiest
Fatal
whisper I've
Night,
ever
how
heard from
are
Halsey.
you?
Yeah, Ballsy, we
I was
don't need
gonna
that
say, low-key
happening.
scared the shit out of me.
Oh, I'll keep
What's-
I'll
oh,
keep
wait,
something
hold on.
special for Joe then.
What is this?
Excuse me?
What is this?
Hell.
What is
Like she's
this?
napping.
Who just
Aw.
ooh-wooed? Hello?
Ballsy.
Oh
Everybody goes-
shit.
It's
that was
going
a
good. Like,
ballsy.
what is it? I mean, work sucks, but
Lando.
at least I'm here streaming and whatnot.
Work sucks.
Come, Joe.
I know.
That's exactly what went through my fucking head.
It ain't so.
I wanna go.
Turn the lights off.
Get me. Oh, no, 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 no.
Who's
shit,
doing
This is my favorite
this?
game. My favorite game mode, terrorism.
Who's doing this? Who is this? Who are you? Who's hugging me?
Oh, all these balls are
Oh.
gone.
Oh my god, that's not floor. There's no floor there. Why am I
Aw.
screaming?
Kimchi,
Shit.
hi.
No,
Oh,
no,
man,
no,
that's
no,
so
no, bad. No, no. Not nice.
Oh shit! That's what I get.
No, Santa. Yes! Bro, Santa got these quick feats.
No,
Ah, shit, I'm gone.
no, please.
No, 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 no,
How
no.
the game sound turned off? Why is it?
I mean,
Oh, it's Kimchi versus Joe.
Joe, you gotta
Yeah,
win.
stay on the other side of the
Wifey versus
stage.
twin.
I'm
putting money on Joe.
Part of this Speedo gang.
Joe, I
You
thought
gotta
you
win
had like
this
a
game.
bomb on your head, but no, that's
Oh,
Kimchi, why did you jump off?
Give me more money.
No, Joe
You
booped
look
Joe, Joe
amazing.
booped
Thank you. You look amazing.
must admit,
oh
I'm
my
proud of Joe.
god.
Thank you. Thank you.
How come Joe changes color like every other game?
I don't.
Wow.
I'm always
No.
black. What do you mean?
Wait,
I thought you were
what?
green.
No, it's
Brother,
me.
what?
Oh my
No,
god.
I changed color, and ever since then, the rhinos leave me alone.
Speaking of rhinos,
I think the rhinos leave everybody alone. The white rhino went extinct.
What?
Oh my god!
What are we talking about?
We're talking about
Shut up.
I didn't know rhinos had color.
Wait,
Help.
I feel weird.
Okay, Kimchi,
That's weird.
remember, the strat here is to not move and look at where Joe is and avoid it at all cost.
Okay.
Fucking T-Rex, what the hell? Don't make any
Okay,
sudden movements.
got it.
Look into its eyes.
Jurassic
Ballsy.
Park.
I hate you.
You know I'm right.
I still hate you.
I'm listening to the Jurassic Park theme song in my mind now.
Oh,
I'm listening to it, but played on recorder. Like really
There we
loud.
go.
Give me a hug.
Y'all need it off me.
No,
Y'all need it off me.
Yeah, keep hugging me.
That was when we stick together, Speedo gang.
I just wanted to take you down with me.
it's
I was just happy to see you. My bad. I'm so sorry.
we're following Joe.
No.
No, no, no.
I went to go give the rhino a hug. Got launched out of the map, hit a lily pad, and got sent across, hit another lily pad. And I made it.
God.
That was insane.
Oh gosh.
Crazy.
I tried to give a rhino a hug, but
It was
like I
a
don't like
Christmas
hugging
miracle.
its face. So, you know, you
Chat,
take it
when's
to
the
its
last
side
time you
and
went
just
to a
let go.
zoo?
There's gonna be 3 rhinos, so at least
No,
two.
two.
It's two. It's 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's 2.
It depends how many people you have. I think you have 6 or more, so don't be 2. Sorry, if you have
It'll
more
be
than 6, it'll be
300.
2. No.
Oh, okay. So
No.
Open the fucking floodgates of Sparta.
remember,
300.
the left one and the right one will head for Joe.
You shall pass.
Shut up. Shut up. I
Wait.
swear to God, if it comes towards me.
The
No.
left
No.
one and the
There's a
right
square
one?
circle in the middle.
A few months ago. How
thank
was
God.
it?
There's
I think
fans?
I went
What?
in. I went.
Yep, there's fans in this one.
Hawaii.
Sorry, Joe.
Lando, why are you close to me,
It's
man?
the safest way to run.
That was the last time.
What do
I
you
went
mean
to
it's
Hawaii.
safest?
With the spinny circles.
Oh my god, is my Discord audio like going off the charts right now? I'm so sorry.
Remember, Namo was like,
It's really
all you
hard
have to do
like,
is just
figure
stand in
out
the
where
center and not move.
everyone's
Yeah, it
without
happened before.
use Go. Hold
Yeah,
on,
because
I will
it went
try.
after me that time.
I'll try to fix people's volumes because I think
No.
Oh my
I
god.
grew
No.
up.
Speedo gang,
Die for
Wazzy.
dear life.
Speedo gang.
Yeah, I think everyone should be good.
Oh.
Sad.
How is it? Do you like going to the zoo? It
R.I.P.
makes me sad. Sometimes.
That's
That shouts out to the dead homie. Rest in
It
peace,
makes me
Pink.
sad.
R.I.P. to a dead homie. Pull one out.
Okay.
Okay. Avoid the charging
betting-
rhinos and
Speedo
stay
gang,
inside
Speedo
the
gang, boss, we gotta
arena.
win. We
It was
gotta
fun.
win.
I went as a math field trip.
We can
That
do
sounds
this.
so fun.
I think.
Also, if anyone wants to play, they're welcome
Well,
to
considering
join.
Shut up.
If anyone wants to play.
We have a good chance.
I'm gonna hang around all of y'all on purpose now. What's up? What's up?
That's such ballsy.
Run, Rosie, run! He's gonna give you a death sentence.
Oh no. Wait a
He's
minute.
gonna what? He's gonna what? Oh, you're dead. Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, this is
I'm dead,
targeted.
man.
I'm getting tag teamed by 2
You
rhinos.
got this, boss. You got this.
Hey, yo, you're taking on 2 rhinos?
I got tag teamed.
At the
Yes!
same time.
Man.
Speedo gang!
I hate it here so much.
Hey, yo, run it back though. Run it back though. Run it back though.
Did you want the second chance?
God.
What? Do that rhino thing again?
Yep.
Oh.
This is fun. It's
Let's
fun.
hear
One race,
one yes
do a
and
I
one
need
no.
my,
One
We'll
race, okay.
race. Any, I guess.
I
Let
need
me
my
see.
fan closer to me. It's
I'm down
hot.
for it. That'd be
All
fun.
the lights here make it so
we
hot.
did a few, I think, if you go on your list anyways. It's easy to.
But since
Which
I haven't
one?
been to a zoo before,
Ooh, a spider.
Oh,
Pick your
that's
poison.
nice.
Spider.
What kind?
My
It
dead
looks like
one.
a small jumping one.
Oh.
I love
Wait,
jumping
spider where?
spiders.
In my room.
Yeah. Yeah, Kimchi has a thing about
It's
him
chilling on my
first
mouse pad. I'm gonna let him chill. He ain't bothering nobody.
This is so cute. Oh, you're so
Namu, do you agree with that
cute.
assessment? That spiders are super cute.
Nope.
The jumping ones are adorable. Have you ever
So,
seen like a close
I
up of them?
hate
They got
spiders
huge
more
eyes.
than anybody on this earth, but jumping spiders do be kind of cute.
Yeah.
Switch positions.
Let's
I don't think many
things
So-
are There was one that jumped onto my hand today, and I took it home. He came home with me.
Oh shit! Santa got clapped.
Jesus Christ!
What?
Oh,
Santa got clapped. Got it. Never knew I was gonna hear that sentence.
I heard Santa got the clap, so
Oh no! Got the clap? Oh jeez.
Oh no.
I heard
mean-
Santa made it clap. That's a different story.
Oh,
Ah, shit.
made it?
Wait, pause.
Oh shit! You had to
That's
start
me
from the
yelling talking
beginning.
about.
no. Oh, fuck me.
Santa throwing it back?
I heard Santa got a
Not
turbulence, if you know what I'm saying.
wait. No, hold up.
Santa got a
Wanna
dumpy?
go?
He got a dumpy.
No, we were not just gonna browse past Joe saying Santa's got turbulence.
What?
Going off the edge, Nami.
Wait,
Wanna
I
go?
can't
You
pass
wanna
this
go?
because we're talking about Santa and dumpies. I can't
He got a
unimagine
dump
it, you
truck.
know? No wonder
Oh.
I saw
He's a
Santa
hero.
kissing
I'm
mommy.
leaving.
No!
Oh, Nami's trying to kill me!
Ah, shit!
Yes! Yes!
Oh, it hurt my head. No.
No!
Why am I not staying there? Oh, okay. I understand.
I'm not having any luck, bruh. Oh shit.
Oh,
Spider
No,
sense?
he's not doing that great either. It's okay.
Oh my lord! No!
I usually get this in the first try though. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh, I'm stuck. Help! Oh. Hello?
Whoever said "Oh great lord," it
I
sounded
did
so
it,
similar to
I
"Oh
did it.
great heavens."
Ah, shit.
My hands are sweaty.
Knees weak.
Oh
arms.
god, almost got there.
Arms
Oh,
dead.
okay,
Spaghetti.
guys. Okay, got it.
You gotta take them
Haha,
off
so
spaghetti.
funny.
Oh, shit.
God.
Oh, Kimchi, go!
Yeah, I'm not making it. I'm sorry.
Oh, from me, you're just fly.
Adopted son.
Kimchi just kill yourself and then
Oh,
try
what the heck?
again.
What?
I was
Oh my
having
god.
such a chill game. I'm looking back at Kimchi play and it looks like she's going through fucking Normandy.
That's what I'm saying.
Bro, for me, Kimchi's literally flying around.
Oh, what the heck?
What?
Dude,
What do
she
you
is
mean?
running through the beaches. She is going through D-Day right now.
You're flying
going
Kimchi,
again.
if you went through the right side, it was so much more
Oh
smoother.
fuck.
The left?
Oh,
The left
come
was easy.
on.
Fuck.
No, the right
fuck.
side.
Oh,
The right
fuck.
side was.
Oh, fuck,
Kimchi went left.
blueberries.
I overjumped.
I know, I went left. It was super easy.
Fuck me.
I went to the right side. I had the punching the boxing
Bitch.
Oh, I
gloves.
didn't have that
Going
one.
for the center. Always going
This
for
is
the
making
center.
me too
Oh, I was
sweaty.
just there.
Bro, how many people have to qualify?
7.
3.
Ballsy, you got this. Hey, Ballsy.
She said how
I know
many
cheat
half
for that.
qualify.
Okay. I know I cheat for that now.
Oh.
I figured it out completely on accident as a
Damn.
dive that I did.
What? Bitch.
Why are you keep-
Bitch!
You're going through the
You're
beaches
struggling a
alone.
little bit.
Yeah. It's because I wasn't able to warm up, you know?
Kimchi just
What do you mean it was a warm up?
Oh, what the?
You warming up for Pro League?
Disconnected.
We're gonna start a Fall Guys esports team.
Oh no.
Disconnected. Aw.
No.
Oh, almost made it.
Oh no, not this!
Oh, absolutely. This was the best part.
Ah, shit.
Fuck
Missed
my
that
life. I hate this part. No!
Yeah,
I was
and
so
then-
close. I can't
But
take
the very
this
first
game.
I
The art is too
made,
funny.
actually, it's gonna be easier.
It's pretty funny.
It's just running,
It's silly.
I think.
Ballsy, you always say you think, and it ends up being a bunch of bananas being shot at us through cannons.
It's okay. Trust the banana. Trust the process.
No.
Whenever you say trust anything, Ballsy, I just don't trust it.
Especially if it's yours.
Is that water
Pause.
soju? It's
I feel like in an
tequila.
alternate universe, Ballsy's just
tequila.
grew from Despicable Me giving out bananas to
You
me.
can get past
Lando.
that? Wait, Pan,
Yeah,
are you
oh, wait,
playing?
Okay.
I'm in.
Pan, which one's
You're
you?
in
Oh, oh,
It's in the game.
Oh,
oh! I
God.
know
Why'd
who
you say
you
it
are
like
now. Oh my god! I was like, who is this?
I
Pan,
don't-
it's
I'm
you.
asking, because I'm concerned.
No. You could have said, "Oh, you're in where?" You're like, "You're in where?" Like that's a bit creepy.
What are
Ballsy.
we
I'm not gonna
listening
lie
to?
to you.
Oh, you mean like ooh?
I'm scared. What are we listening to? This is on a list that is like a recommended daily mix. I need to, don't know what
Daily
it's
mix?
playing.
Is K-pop not DMCA?
It is,
It
but
definitely is.
I don't have it on my VOD.
Yeah. And right now, Twitch doesn't have a good way of actually checking while it being streamed. So
Ah!
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus. For the same one.
Actual
This is
hug.
what
Wait,
it's
hold
called.
on. Hug Ben.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Oh, of course, that was a fake wall.
You forgot
Gosh,
to
darn it.
change your name.
get me up.
Who are you? Who?
No, what the fuck?
Why did it not
This
grab?
map is aggravating.
That's what happened to me. It didn't grab.
This is some trial and error, balls. We gotta do this quick.
What kind of fucking trigonometry do I have to pull to get the angle to jump up to this next level?
Why do I keep yelling? Oh, I'll move. That's funny.
Meanwhile, over in the Mushroom Kingdom, Toad is having the time of his life.
Far right, far right. Let's go! Yes, I made it!
No, you messed me up.
Ah, shit.
Me and balls in the first two. Speedo gang for the dub.
No.
Afro Joe is not
Why
too
am
far
I
from
so
us.
sweaty?
Oh
Oh,
yes.
no.
Bro.
Oh. Oh.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
Joe.
Oh, triple
One.
triple speedo team. Yes.
Joe doesn't have the speedo on though.
Nah.
Ah,
I'm
shit.
honorary.
Oh.
I'm honorary. You feel me? We're in half the
Oh,
outfit.
yeah. Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Oh, I could have done. Okay, wow.
Nah, we gotta differentiate myself because somebody was
Okay.
copying my color too. So
He's green now.
I'm green.
yeah, but I'm not leaving.
Namu's technically a part of Speedo Gang. He just doesn't have the bottom half of his Speedo. He's got on a kilt.
Oh.
That's the same thing I have.
Hey, don't
I
talk
could
shit
tell
about my
next
kilt.
time.
Oh.
Can you change your name in this game? I don't think so, right?
It's whatever your epic is.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you'll be able to change it. I think you'll be able to change it once for free.
On Epic or in
On Epic, yeah.
Oh,
They charge you to change your name.
what the fuck?
Oh yeah, they're just like a bunch of degens over at fucking Xbox because you have to pay to change your name.
Oh.
Tornado
That's
trial.
dumb.
I'm not sure what that is.
It's so wild.
Did we do that? No, I don't think we did.
Oh yeah, I don't think
Oh.
we ever tried it before.
Isn't this the?
Oh, we're going to Oklahoma.
We're gonna
Oh,
see
snap.
V's house.
Yeah,
running
we're
around.
gonna see Rizzy.
It's just funny when I play back these VODs, I'm like lip syncing to nothing.
Mm-hmm. I see. Tornado trial. I'm wondering what that one is. And I keep waking out.
Namu, favorite song, go.
Favorite song? Clock Strikes by 1 O'Clock.
What?
It's a Japanese band.
Whoa, I need to listen to this.
But you're on Switch.
Oh, I heard Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
What the fuck
do you-
is
how do you
this?
spell
Oh, I
it?
hate this
Oh,
one.
not this one
Not
again.
this one.
I'll DM you the I'll DM you the YouTube link or something like
Oh,
that.
Wait,
fuck.
what was that? What was that?
Oh, dang it, I hit the pipe.
Same.
Wait, how do you get it to? Well, how do you
I
get it
think
to?
we're
You have,
supposed to, like,
you have
try-
to land and then jump and then dive over top
Oh
of the
my
pipe.
God.
Like, it's so hard to do,
Oh.
but it's possible. I've done it before, it's possible. I'm pretty
Ouch.
sure Kitten
What do you
says as
want me
well.
to do?
It's possible. It's just very
Oh my god.
No, wait,
It's so
Yeah,
annoying.
okay. You have to be coordinated. and-
yeah, bruh.
Oh, I almost had it. Wait, did somebody get across? Yeah, somebody did.
Guys, I've landed on the fan.
Namu, I'll link it to
Landed
Lunar
on
because I
the-
do like the song "We Are" by one.
Look at Santa. Look where Santa's at.
Okay.
Oh, I'm on the fan.
Oh, I'm sorry, Santa. I'm
No,
sorry.
I got pushed off.
Oh,
I
my
ran
God.
out.
Clock Strikes. That song is old as shit.
Oh,
okay,
fuck.
I see.
Okay, I
Send
know
me
I'm
the
paying
There's,
playlist
like, a
later. I'll send it right
lot of-
now. I can't play this. This is too crazy.
Like, you know, on the surface, this is like all cute and cuddly and all that, but I feel like in like actuality, these Fall Guys are in agony.
Mm.
Here you go.
No, oh, dude, I know how to do it. Jojo, I know how to do it. Follow me. Just, I can get you across.
Why
You
only
gonna get me
Joe?
across?
Kimchi.
What the
What's up?
fuck?
Did you just piss out kimchi? Rando, get out of here.
Rando! Fuck, I just killed myself.
Just wait. Like, you gotta go now. Ah, so
You were saying?
it's, when like the left side there, it goes just above like the big
Yeah.
Okay,
platform.
Namu, I
That's
linked
where we
it to
wanna
him.
go. That's where we
All
wanna
right, thank
go.
you.
Like right now.
Download.
Oh, see, I just hit the pipe, but like you can make it there. I did it twice, and then I got fucking yeeted.
What the fuck is this shit?
Everyone's trying so hard just to get through.
It's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, get Rando out of there.
Like, that would pushed me off and just fell.
Oh, come on. We can't jump.
Kimchi, come on!
Yo, we need to make a custom game where there's only like one small square and we just like push everyone off.
Dude, this is so unnecessarily difficult.
Yeah, this is. That's
Ballsy,
why.
get on it. Get the push off square.
Now, wait till you guys get to the second part. This shit is just so stupid.
Oh god, that was there.
No, oh fuck! I've
Oh
done
my
this
God, I
already.
Kimchi,
can't-
please, Kimchi, please.
You
Oh my god.
Get him out of you!
Get out.
just want hugs.
Alright, we're all about to fight. Hold up.
You got throw hands. Throw hands.
Why is this a thing?
Just wait till, guys, wait till Gang Beast. Wait till Gang Beast. Not this. Not now.
Nah, Bacon Jay now. Again now, Namu.
Hands. They can catch these hands.
They can catch it here.
Oh shit.
Also,
This,
Namu,
in
we're
more
gonna
ways
play
than one,
Outlast.
violates the approach
Has
of the
to be
Geneva
soon,
Convention.
because I work tomorrow.
Wait, say again?
I said if we're gonna play Outlast, it has to be soon because I do have work tomorrow.
Oh, do you? Shit. Oh yeah, that's right. You have that should work like 7 days.
She's a mercy at this point.
Would you be able to play in about 20 minutes?
Yeah.
God.
Okay.
Oh no, I fell.
If 20 minutes is actually
No.
20 minutes, because an hour.
Yeah,
has
no,
been
it
like
will.
an hour
I'm not gonna be
40.
Hal. I'm not gonna be like Hal. Come on.
You were just Hal, because you just said an hour and it's been an hour and 40 minutes, so you were being a Hal.
Guess you're right.
How are we supposed to make it?
I just threw
hold up.
you down.
No, stop!
What's
I'm
up?
trying to make
Oh my
it
God.
perfectly and
This is
everything.
my block. Get off
I
my
need to
block.
try.
Get off my
She said this
block.
is my block.
Get off my block. Get off my
She's like,
block.
we're still in the hood. She said, this is my block.
She laid claims.
Oh my God,
We got gang violence.
Stupid fan thing.
Oh my God. No.
This is my block.
Kimchi's against the Speedo gang.
Why are how are we supposed
No,
to
this
get
is my
that
block.
high?
Joe, get off.
Okay.
Namu,
man,
no,
I made
shit.
it over twice. I just keep going over like the other side.
You gotta do it like how
Oh
I
my
showed you, but like
God.
save your dive, save your dive, save your dive, and then you can dive back.
Alright, see, I'm right here.
No, Pan. No, no, Pan. No.
Go,
Pan.
go.
Pan.
No.
No.
No, I
It keeps
think
blowing me
think
over.
Joe-
I can't make it to the other side.
Now you're like a
That's funny.
participation trophy.
Murderer.
GG's.
The murderer.
Nah,
Not me. Not me.
yeah, I don't.
It's not
And it's made by the
murderer.
Fall Guys team.
We're
so
all losers. No one made it.
I'm
An
a
easy
loser.
raid.
We lost the gang violence.
Ballsy, I
Kimchi's
need you.
block
I have a
attack.
commission. I have a commission, Ballsy. I need you to make a single block where you can just push people off of. That's just where you spawn.
All right, we're just gonna do a few more. I think we're gonna do a little bit of a hexagon, and then the last one we'll do the death run again.
Oh,
Okay.
Again?
We can skip the death run.
Nah, I want to see.
Yeah, I'm
bodies
out.
drop.
Sorry. Death
Yeah, can we do
round?
Rhino?
No,
We actually had
thank
fun with
you.
Rhino.
Hold on.
Wait.
Is
Who
it
had
fun?
fun? I didn't.
I have fun hugging
I'll do
people when
something.
there's a rhino.
I wanted to
I
hug
don't
the
have fun
rhinos.
Wait,
being
who
double teamed by a
left?
rhino. Pause. But
Ew.
Wait, Ballsy, did you
Wait.
set out?
Yeah,
by-
that's fine.
What does that mean?
Okay, okay.
You wrong for that.
I'm just saying. You know what? I'm on Namu stream. I
I'm
won't
telling
be
you,
mean.
Mama. Mama
You're on my-
Joe.
Y'all don't have my mama's number. Thank God. Whew.
I could probably get it.
We don't need her number. We just gotta get you riled up.
Oh, Kimchi's got the Riz.
No, not that.
You trying to raise my mama?
She's going after Joe Mama.
Never mind. I was gonna say something. I should stop myself.
Oh, wait, Ballsy, did you say you were trying to get it back in, or?
No. I'll come back in 5 minutes. I'm making something for Lando.
Oh, okay.
Wait, are you doing the
Will you
commission
make
with the block?
something for kimchi?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
Do you want him to make something for you?
No.
It's ballsy.
never
Are you
mind.
sure?
Wait, no, he's
It's
respectful
gonna
to
have
me.
bananas.
No, there's not.
Of various shapes and sizes.
Yeah,
Oh, phallus. That rhymes with callus.
That's what I was saying earlier. Nobody
We
got
all-
it.
We all said words. We all said malice. And whatever.
Well,
some
I
other stuff.
wasn't in chat.
Chalice.
I was.
Palace.
Yeah, there's a lot of words around Talus.
Phallus.
Mhm.
All right, let's go.
Wait. Oh my God! I'm not clicked into the game, bitch.
Oh, it gives you just fell.
To be you.
I was not clicked into the
Bitch.
game, bro.
sucks to be you.
Oh, Jesus! I first like 4 blocks down. You know what? Time to make victory.
Oh
God!
Oh, this is my favorite song.
Oh, shit.
No!
Oh, Joy, don't kill
Oh,
you.
shit.
I don't want to kill you either.
Oh, no.
I'm working on my. No. Sorry,
Shit.
Genji, no.
Oh, my God.
Shit.
Oh no, I dove off.
Pan, no! Pan, no! Pan's evil, yo!
Oh shit.
Yes,
Oh
yes,
no.
yes. I got rid of Namu. I got rid of him.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, you got rid of me, huh? You got rid of me, huh?
I had to. You're too big of a competition. Speedo Gang needs to win.
Damn it, Kimchi got it.
Ooh, Kimchi. Dang.
Pan, let's just screw
Oh,
everyone
fuck,
over.
fuck, fuck,
Let's just
no!
screw everyone, Pan. Pan, let's just screw
Shit.
everyone over.
Shit. I fucking died.
Oh shit, I screwed up.
Well, we all know the rules. As long as I'm doing better than Kimchi, it's fine.
No, dude.
Oh my god.
What
That's
is
all that
wrong?
I
matters.
don't condone cyberbullying, bro.
Oh, I died.
Do.
Ballsy, are you still alive?
That's Joe's
Yeah, I'm
whole
here.
definition.
Hey,
Oh, absolutely.
Speedo Gang lost. No.
See, cyberbullying can be avoided.
Oh,
let's
good
go.
one.
How'd you win that?
I got them hops.
Santa got hops. Report.
And then this.
All right, last one. Digital death run.
Really?
Yep.
Let's go.
Is this the Pepto-Bismol slide?
Yes,
Oh shit.
with fans. With fans. Can't forget.
Ah!
With fans.
Thank you for redeeming hydrate. I got you, Pan.
It's the
But on
Pepto-Bismol.
Friday, you hydrate with
Fans.
soju.
The fans are there to air out the bullshit.
Oh god, Joe.
What you calling us bullshit?
I'm calling this map bullshit.
Not gonna lie, Somek. I'm kind of craving some Somek.
Oh.
Kimchi, is this what you mean by Riz? Do you have a band-aid? I just scraped my knee falling for
Those
you.
are so mad.
Oh,
God dang it, Kimchi.
Joe, you gave me this list.
I know. I know. Technically,
Aw,
ChatGPT
shit.
gave me the list.
Ah, barely.
Pan, more hugs?
You guys not even trying.
We're hugging.
No.
Hugs for good luck.
Ah, I can't screw that up.
Oh fuck. I dove too
wait,
soon.
I'm
Shit.
almost done.
Done with what?
Wait, you almost finished it, Balls?
Oh
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, I almost finished one. 1
My
second.
jump didn't register.
I was mad
Fuck,
that I
baby.
made it almost to the very
I
end.
Oh my god, excuse me. I like the redeem
got
animations.
ragdolled.
Thank you.
Ah.
It took a long time.
Nah, we both
Oh,
overshot the
shit.
shit out of that one.
Yeah, we did.
Hi, Soph. How are you? Welcome in.
What?
What have you been up to? How's your week?
Oh, so? That's what's
Oh,
up.
frick. I feel.
Ah, shit.
Wee! Oh.
What was that?
Ah, what the
Wee!
The Kimchi squeal. She went, wee!
Oh. You're doing good? Glad to hear.
I feel like this would be so much easier if
What
I
have
had
you been up
legs. These are fucking boots attached to a muffin top.
I was very concerned where you were going with that.
Oh.
It's attached to a muffin top.
Happy Pride! It's Pride Month.
I'm building a damn
Shit, I didn't
cupcake.
bounce too far enough, man.
Absolutely, the month that we celebrate my pride.
Oh. Joe, you're getting canceled right now.
Absolutely.
He isn't streaming, can't cancel him.
It's not like
Hashtag
streaming.
cancel
It doesn't
Afro
matter.
TV.
So, no, it's not how that works. You have to be
Canceling a
streaming.
person.
Can't do it. Yeah, I have to be streaming. Can't do
No, that's not how you. That's not how you
Oh
do
my
that
God,
part,
wait.
Namu. Shit. Funny man? No, don't call him funny
So
man
close.
anymore. He's
It
cancelled,
won't,
man.
it won't be long. I'm gonna give you the
Nah,
code.
you can't cancel me.
Fucking bitch.
Oh my god.
it. Who are you talking to?
Kimchi has some raise issues, bro.
What? No, never.
This game brings out the inner gremlin in all of us.
I'm like
We need a fucking
gremlin.
Snickers bar.
Bro, but
Oh
Hey,
my
listen,
god.
You give me a hug right now.
Get off me!
hugs all around.
Yeah, screw hugs.
Oh my
I want
God.
hands.
Jesus.
Yo.
Bro, we gotta get that on the
Alice, thank you
pictures.
so much
Screw
for the
hugs,
sub.
all on hands.
Gotta give the hugs for good luck,
Okay,
man.
that's just
Aren't you
not,
going? Wait,
that's
Alice,
not
aren't you supposed to be
okay.
sleeping?
Fuck! No!
Guys, Alice is still awake.
Maybe it
You
took
know?
a nap and just woke up.
Yeah,
Jeez,
probably.
Maybe it's like morning
I
time.
to learn the art of double jumping. I jumped mid-air and missed the bounce.
I was doing tricks.
Oh my god, no.
I hate
I-
this
I-
one. I'm turning the
Definitely-
game off. Why did I even come here?
I mean, we're gonna
No
switch to
shit.
Outlast Trial after this, so.
Shut.
You could have
Yeah, but that's only a
before this.
4-person game.
Won't be long.
Yeah, but Ori, I told Ori we would play it.
Yeah, yeah.
Ah, fuck.
That's why I want to quickly finish this one. There you go.
20 more seconds
There's
of
like
this.
no
I'm-
fucking power to
No, give me a minute.
Oh shit!
God.
Oh shit! Oh, where the fuck am I going? What the fuck? I made it so far.
I know how you
Jack,
feel, Kimchi.
you do that?
I know how you feel.
I don't know you, Santa,
Hey,
but
everyone, let's give a group hug.
It's
Group hug,
okay.
group hug, group hug.
Me and Lunar were having
you
a slow
see
dance
that?
moment at the fucking start.
Insomnia, be
Bro,
that friend.
what?
Yeah, I got you, Alice.
Oh shit, it's 1 in the morning.
Wait, Ballsy, what you say you're gonna like create?
Yeah, yeah. 1 second. I have to give you.
a baby.
Creating
That's what
Namu
he's
wearing a bunny
What?
suit while singing pony.
No.
Not in a maid outfit.
Nope.
No, bunny suit.
Nope.
Bunny suit.
Oh,
Like,
well, we'll mix it. We'll mix it.
Nope.
Maid outfit with bunny ears.
Nope.
No, we gotta get Namu back in the maid outfit.
Nope.
1 second. Okay. There
You're
you
the
go.
one who said you did because you wanted to.
Yeah.
Didn't?
Yes, you
I
said.
only stream what I want to, not what others want me to. Quote.
Okay, not specifically for the main outfit though. Joe, you know this more than more
Namu
than
secretly
anybody else.
wanted that. He wanted to wear the maid outfit.
He totally did, guys.
That's what I'm saying, man.
I mean, the
Just say
man saying
enemy's
he
my
did
enemy.
it.
Wish me
so-
luck. Good luck, friend.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Oh God. I
Alice
make
is
it.
saying at 6 a.m. is her enemy right now. I'm guessing it's because wait, not guessing. It's because like it.
Oh, it won't
she's
stay.
she's in the UK
Snapfall.
right now.
It keeps
I
falling.
can already tell
I don't know
Kimchi
how
was
to
into
put
some
this
ratchet
up.
stuff.
No, I'm not.
Damn.
If I go on, if I hover your name and I see Med the Stallion, I'm gonna say it's
It's
ratchet.
not. Press or type exclamation point song.
Fucking
It's not
around.
like in this-
Phony people featuring Med the Stallion. That's what it says.
Insomnia cures. What do you guys
Oh,
do when
I guess you're right.
can't fall asleep? What do y'all do?
I know I'm right.
Oh fuck. No,
God.
if I can't fall asleep, take a fucking melatonin.
You
Night
heard her,
night.
Alice.
If you're Kimchi.
Then
Melatonin.
this
Yo,
is
Steph
on
Not
the-
Curry 93. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in. How are you?
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Wait,
Sorry.
Ballsy, are you trying to like make a code or something?
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm just trying to validate it. So it takes me.
Wait, I thought that was the last.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said to you.
you.
But Ballsy keeps saying like, wait a second. So I was like, okay.
Well,
Yeah, yeah,
Bossy
but if
can
it
be
is-
blue for a second, and you can follow
Wait,
your
what?
original plan, bro.
Yeah, yeah, you can. I mean, doesn't
Ballsy
matter.
can be what?
Okay. Wait,
You heard me.
should we switch to Outlast right now
Oh.
then? Yeah, we can switch to Outlast now.
Yeah, yeah. Don't worry about it.
Nah, but do you already have 4?
So I
I
got.
said blue.
I mean, me and Kimchi are streaming.
Oh,
Or I
God.
said Ori. I
Again.
said Ori can to like join in. Just one more spot being open right now.
What?
So Joe, if you wanna take it,
I'll take it.
all right. But yeah, for those who played
Oh, am I in
Fall Guys,
autofill?
thank you so much for joining
GG,
in.
y'all.
GG. Now
game.
watch us. Now just watch us in horror playing Outlast.
Oh god.
Absolutely.
Should we use the Discord chat or should we just go in voice invoice for not invoice.
We should probably do
in-game
game
for this.
voice, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, I have to put my other mic up then.
Ouch.
All right, the dual setup for the mics.
Yeah.
So great.
Well,
Catch you
there's
guys
too many
later.
people in here.
Yep. Catch you
Alright.
later.
Toodaloo.
Thank you for joining in.
Take care.
don't worry.
Hold on,
I'm
I have to
leaving
exit
too.
the game real quick. Invite me. I guess I'll deafen. I have to exit the game because I cannot plug in my other mic while the game is connecting. I haven't played Outlast Trials in a long time, so we'll see how this goes. It's been a while. I have to set up my other mic. I wish this mic was lighter. That way I could put it, like, somewhere. It's so heavy. Such a heavy mic. Okay. Where is... The wire goes all the way over here. Okay. Plug it in. Oh, I unplugged it. Hold on. This is a bigger challenge than I thought. Okay. I think I got an invite too. Oh. We're good. Hopefully you guys can hear everything quite alright. Let's see if the game audio is gonna pick up. Let me go ahead and change it. There you go. Should be good. Hopefully. Let's figure it out. Okay, Panda's gonna go to sleep, love. He's Kimchi UMG night night. Whenever you stream, I'll try and be more. Oh, thank you so much for being here, Panda. I appreciate you. Have a good night's rest, okay? I'll see you next time. Tomorrow I'll stream earlier, so I know not everyone's free that day, but let's see. I need to change my audio settings. Let me test my mic. Test. Hello? Mic test? Hello? Hello? Okay. Okay. That sounds good. What's up?
Okay, I wasn't sure if you could hear me because no one was responding.
Oh yeah, I turned the chat volume off because last time we were playing, we turned it off for a while.
Yeah. I just turn on push to talk. So that no one can hear me. That's usually how I do it.
No, I think it was because someone couldn't turn their mic off or something, or didn't know how to, and we were already playing.
Yeah.
So we were hearing them twice or some shit like that.
Oh, look who isn't dead yet. What do you need?
Okay, I'll be
Don't
right
bet
back.
on any slow horses, huh?
Yep.
BRB.
Yeah, I'm already here. I was able to join off here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I couldn't invite you.
Damn, I lost. Shit. Alright.
Also, what's good? What's good? Kimchi said she'd be right back.
Already losing fucking arm wrestlings.
Let me see if I can invite. Nah, Moofy's already here.
I see his name.
Okay, he's here. I didn't see his name. That's why. I'll be right back.
How are you?
Where is my room?
Hey, yo, hi. Ooh, 6 months, my dude? Hell yeah. FatalKimchi?
Where is my room? My room's up here. I have to turn your volume up 1 second. I don't know why I have you so low. Okay. Maybe it was louder last time, I don't know.
My room is on the opposite side.
Ooh, new floor.
Yeah, my room's on the opposite side of this bunker.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hard to hear any of the people in game. Okay.
Or do you remember the last one you did? Or Kimchi, I don't know which one we got so farther.
I don't remember.
I'm done. I
Alright.
just need to do the last one. But
Oh,
I'm
you
not
have to
up
program
to
that.
level. Yeah, I'm not up to level though.
Let me see. You finished, Ori, check to see if you finished program 2.
Okay.
Oh, right, you
Yeah,
had to do a
finish
solo
this
one,
one.
Kimchi.
Yeah, I do have to do the solo one, but I don't have enough perks and stuff to get through it.
Gotcha.
I don't have
Yeah, I
silent walk.
finished 2. But yeah, Joe,
Thanks,
all of
Nana.
Child 2 is finished.
Wait, are we putting pink fits on?
Yes.
Oh fuck, I just
Doesn't have
changed.
to be pink, but at least the shorts.
Damn it,
The
Panda.
shorts.
Panda, why? I don't wanna.
Everything Pikachu.
Pikachu.
Yeah, he did.
Good man, Panda.
I saved it for a posture check. Time to be mad.
Okay. Wait, no, I want to wear whatever I want to wear. Never mind.
Alright, don't be part of the jorts crew then.
It's fine. We did
Kimchi
it for
always
the
has to be
finale.
extra. But that was off stream though. Nobody saw it. You know?
Where's the take a shot button? I have work tomorrow, motherfucker.
What time you have work?
1:30.
Oh,
to
fuck,
31
Namu
a.m.
changed?
And also,
Okay,
I
fine.
finished. I have program 2 changed.
Wait, I think I muted Namu, huh? Hold on.
He's not talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's not.
But I only have the pink one.
I'm not going to work hungover. I work with fucking animals in a place where dogs bark all day. No, thank you.
I'll
Woof.
switch if you want me to go to different color.
Woof, woof. Bark, the bark.
Why? Why?
But yeah, Joe, trial
Why
2 is
not?
finished.
So we're doing trial 3?
Alright, hold on, let me switch to trial 2.
I'm not drinking, so you can stop trying.
Oh, I don't have that many chips left.
Alright, let me know how far you're in trial 3, Ori. My bad.
I didn't even start trial.
Oh, okay, we start from the beginning then. That's fine.
Don't get upsetty. I'm just messing. Well, when I say no once, don't push. I already said no. Stop crying like that. Fucking annoying.
No means no.
Are we talking about consent?
Drink a soda. I'm drinking green tea. I don't want soda right now.
Sure.
I will not drop kick Saren. That's my dad. That's my other dad. I have 3 dads. I'm special.
Whoa? Whoa?
Do I even want to
Not like
question?
that, Kimchi.
Whoa?
I just have a VR chat dad. Then there's Baldy, which is my stream dad.
Debatable.
Debatable.
Huh. Fun
Green tea
fact
is
about
pure.
me?
She's on crack.
No. Is there even a fun fact about me?
Wow,
Melissa
Kimchi.
She has like 2 first names as one.
Oh, I do have
Got-
2 first names. Thanks, Joe.
Yo, same.
Always saves me.
Yo, save.
Same?
Save.
I don't know what it is. I don't know why they want to give me 2 first names that I only found out about this year.
Hey, yo.
I mean, I knew it was like my middle name, but I didn't know it was my second name. Namu, why are you not talking?
I know, why aren't you talking?
I'm talking to my chat, that's why.
Oh. Alright, well, prepare to die this game because Namu's
Chat's
probably not
more
going to pay
important.
attention to us dying.
Yeah, for real.
What?
I said you're
Oops, I
probably not going
almost
to pay attention to us
exit.
dying.
Oh,
Of course
that's
you
not gonna
did.
happen.
Yeah, it happened last time.
No, wait, what are you talking about?
I died the last time, or almost died the last time because something jumped on me and you were talking to chat instead of kicking the thing off of me.
I did kick off the thing.
No, you didn't. I pushed him
did.
off.
Damn.
Calling you out, Namu.
Crazy.
You gonna,
I
you
see
gonna
My
what
take
Korean
that?
English name? No, I'm not Korean. I think we had this conversation in
All the things I
Namu's.
tried to do nice for her.
Yeah, like
Oh
what?
no.
Oh, are we listing things?
Good point.
There's good things.
He
we
said good point on stream. Oh, cotton 4K, Namu. Fuck.
Pot in 4K. Oh, Lunar,
Jesus.
thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are we
I'm
in
just
the
waiting on
Jorts
my
crew
time.
right now? We are the Jorts crew.
Did Kimchi, you want me to change my
Joe-
color or no?
Joe and Kimchi has the same color, and you and I have the same color.
Oh, that's fine.
Yo,
2 and 2.
The Jorts.
It's fine. It's fine. We're okay.
Yes. Yes, Panda.
Yeah, I
Y'all good to
just
go?
have 2. I have
Yeah.
4 names technically, which we're not going to talk about because, you know.
Oh wait, or I didn't know you were streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Let me lurk for you, Van.
Wait, Joe, wait.
I'm not
I
gonna
don't
get
know
to
what my
say
loadout
Panda.
is. Oh, yeah.
You can cancel if you want me to.
No, okay, you're good. I didn't change it. I didn't change it. We're good. Don't worry.
I'm sitting up straight. Why are you posture checking me? I'm already sitting up straight.
I'm also sitting up straight. You just can't tell because I don't use this thing. I don't use this thing.
Thanks for the lurk, Joe. It's annoying I
Mhm.
can't read 3 chats at once. I mean... Sure you can. There's the multi-stream link right there.
Yeah, multi-stream link basically is all chats. So...
Education and
No
faith
excuse.
must follow our mandates.
You see
Children
one chat
will
on
learn
it, but you can
obedience.
change it.
Shape them young, and they're ours for life. Teach
Yo?
the children.
Hey,
Give
yo.
them first communion, and we will let you out.
I don't like this.
I've
You're
never heard. I
creepy.
actually never noticed he said that because we were talking the whole time.
You know who would like this?
Oh man.
He knew exactly where I was going with it.
Yup.
Bro, that's not right. Well, I need to turn Namu louder too. Namu, you're on 69.
Damn, that bitch was ugly.
Oh, the best
on
number.
69.
Hey, oh,
What?
nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever had Nando's chicken?
I thought you were gonna
I
say, have you
believe I
ever
did.
had 6?
It's not in the U.S. Namu.
Kimchi.
What?
It's Namu. Nando's is in the U.S. You probably had to have it outside of the U.S. I think.
Oh shit.
I am so confused.
No, nothing.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Only the UK and the sub and the
Who snorted?
Oh, okay.
Ori.
Ori snorted. I don't know. Maybe I did have it before. Like.
Okay, we're okay.
I'm not.
That was crazy. Did you hear something? That was crazy.
Oh, Jesus.
What's wrong with Ori?
Ori, you straight?
Nabu, you really didn't catch that? Okay, good.
No, why?
No, it's better.
But I'm crying. I'm fucking crying.
That was
Okay,
too good.
now I really want to know what it means.
Absolutely nothing.
No, you don't.
No,
I
it's
don't think
something.
you-
It's something.
It's something, but like you.
Ori, I'm gonna
probably
annoy
be
the hell out of
upset.
you if you don't tell me what it is.
You already annoy me.
I'll put you annoying to another level then.
Absolutely.
Rick.
It was nothing. It was really nothing.
It was great.
It was funny. But it's not gonna be funny a second time. That's the thing.
Am I missing something on the cake?
Don't tell him. Or tell him. And yeah.
Watch out.
Wakey, wakey, my little angels.
No.
I'll enjoy
Yeah, why
some
do you
angel
like
dust.
kitties like that?
What else is new about them? They've always been mean.
My question is, why was her
I'm
kitties
not
like that? Damn.
Around inside them and find out.
Oh yeah, Namu. You remember about the updates to this part of
Oh
it?
fuck me. Does anyone have
They
an
might
extra?
replace her. None.
No, I don't have an antidote.
For Project 3.
Do I want to lock? No, I want this. What are you guys crawling around about?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, or just give me an update with your battery.
Okay.
And if y'all need him, let me know.
Watch multi-stream to all 3 if you get these. I don't know, I never used this.
Oh, actually,
I believe the answer
can
is
you
yes.
preemptively heal my psychosis right now?
Okay, sure.
Thanks. Yes, I'm not crazy.
Yeah, you are.
We knew that.
After what just happened, you definitely are.
That's it.
I have no items, by the way.
You have no items? Here, maybe
No.
there's. Oh, no, we can't get that.
Never mind. Namu's like mine.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't know you also wanted to try this as well.
Lunar song.
Nah, it's cool. It was just funny because I tried grabbing it and your character just bumped mine out of the way. Like, no, mine.
Mine.
Yeah.
Mine.
My job.
Mine? Mine?
Mine? Mine? Mine?
What?
Nothing.
God damn it, what was that? Yo, bunnies! How's it going?
Infant
What time to see?
Storm, Girls Storm, and
Or,
Boys
yeah,
Storm.
what time to see? How are you doing, bunnies?
Okay.
Oh, I got a brick. Lovely.
This looks useful. You see that?
We've missed ya.
What are we looking for again?
We're looking for those like little radio frequency things.
Radio frequency.
You see that?
Probably.
Not out here. For sure not.
No.
You see that?
Watch out for that.
Yeah. Go ahead. Where's the door? Over here. Behind there.
Maybe around here.
Frequency things. I don't see
Waiting for the
anything
right
here.
time. I've been right. Oh, here it is. Kimchi, this- Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
Oh, instead of helping you, it slid into hiding. Did you get it?
But yeah, this is what we're looking for. This is one of the things we're looking for.
How do I do this?
Yeah, I've been doing things like I think you have been doing with like polish and stuff. But you had to like match the wavelength.
Got it.
Oh, Kimchi!
Oh, get her off
Run,
of
run,
me.
run.
Trying. Oh, bash. Come on.
Oh, bash. Bash. Run.
Run.
I don't want the screen.
Bring it to Joe. I'm just kidding.
I will throw glass. Right.
Do it. Bet.
I got a brick. I'm not afraid to use it.
I do have a
I
brick.
will throw hands at somebody.
You see that?
You stay ready behind. Exactly.
Can you help me?
Oh, here's a battery if
This
someone
could
needs
come in handy.
battery. Oh, careful, she's right there.
Run. Fucking get out. Go.
I like playing with her though.
Jeez, I suck at these.
Namu, did you get the frequency? Nice. What's the last room?
Cover your ears, children. It's awful.
No, don't come out. No. Do you have a question for me or something? No.
What do you think you're doing?
This bitch is still out here. Can you tell her to leave? Joe, can you tell Big Mama to leave?
Well, I'm locked inside the room, so I can't do nothing.
Boy.
Oh, she's back here.
Yeah, she sure is. And I'm dipping.
Oh, God.
Okay. Infant's dorm. Infant's dorm? Yeah, I left. I've been left. I'm sorry. Okay, you guys are here.
It's a trap.
Hey, Mama.
Whoa.
What?
I thought I was an imposter.
No, you fucker.
What?
Careful, something's over there. Who is that?
Machete.
I threw a brick at him.
Okay. Oh fuck,
Wait, you
we're
guys should hide
locked.
then. Yeah, you guys, no. Hide.
I'm hiding.
Where are
Don't
we gonna
worry.
fucking hide?
Right here. In the hiding spots. Under the bed. There's one right there.
Over there.
I found it. This bitch is crazy, dude. Oh.
I will
Close, be careful.
She's right there.
My battery's at 5.
I have a small battery.
Yeah. I mean, I should be alright. The game's only break because I have night vision on.
Buddy says hi, Ori, Joe, Kimchi.
Look.
Yep, I'm buddy. Ah, goddamn.
I thought I saw a stream earlier today. I was just
Who is streaming?
buddies.
Bunnies? Namu, it's in here, but I think she's in here. Oh no, she's not.
He's right there.
I haven't done this yet, so this is very kind of confusing.
Oh, what, the frequency? You don't have the frequency.
Yeah.
You know what
Oh, I did it! I did it!
Nice.
Okay, I have to get out of here now.
I don't know, I missed this one already. I literally just hit you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Oh, never mind. Joe's like, no, this is my lock now.
I'm not sure how I feel about me being the one to pick the lock with all good. Anyone want a battery?
Push the goddamn button!
Like,
Someone need a battery? Or
we were here.
I'm okay for now.
Okay.
class for a reading from
I mean, I can switch it for the.
There's your substitute.
You want or not?
Nah, she gave me the small one. I got it.
Okay.
Lab rats, or something like that.
Did you just hide in a drawer? Yep. Yes, I did.
They just put you in a place where you're just being chased by psychotic people.
Da 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 da.
I'm gonna close the door.
Yep.
I'm gonna eat a chip. I'm gonna eat a chip.
Yo, what is wrong with this bitch's titties?
I was not looking.
They're hella saggy.
I know, right?
Alright. This one,
Girl needs a lift, you
We
know?
gotta move these films.
I will not comment.
Classrooms, but however, we cannot bring the films like outside this door. We have to like.
Yeah, you'll close. You try doing that.
Wait, what?
Like if I try to leave it the phone, it'll lock the door.
Oh, you gotta put them in there. Okay.
Do you know which classrooms we need to go to?
In each classroom. Oh shit.
I got this one.
Is there any bricks or?
I have a bottle.
I'm going in class 2.
I can scan if you want, Namu. Namu, you want to scan?
Oh no.
He's right out the door. There's a bottle outside. Yeah. Fucking Joe's with the hiding spot.
Oh, he just.
Okay, going back. Oh shit.
Wait, can someone open this door?
Kimchi, run. Wait, Kimchi, you need to put that in the tube.
Which tube? I've never done this one before.
So come over here.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Like this tube over here.
Oh, okay.
I think you ran into the classroom. Hold on, I'm coming to you.
Did you do it already?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. I was trying. My nose is itchy. Blah. Blah. Why does it sound like she's saying baby shark?
Nose.
Watch out. Also, they say his name's Bob.
Bob? The builder?
Sure.
Probably not.
Syringe here if anyone wants it.
I have one on me.
Keep in mind,
Me too.
If there was like a film projector here that's turning on, this is where we're supposed to bring the film in. But since it's not, we'll have to find. Yeah,
Just
we'll
ran
have
the
to find
front
the
classroom. Yeah.
Kill clowns from the Outer Space Gate that's based off the old movie. Yo, I need
That movie sucked. That is great at the same time.
I need to. What is it?
You want me to
Buster.
scan real quick?
Yeah.
I don't see anyone.
All right.
I like it that room.
Let me pick up the film over here.
There's a needle, a syringe right over on the other side of this wall.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Who is it? Machete?
Yeah, I saw Machete.
Yeah, you just never ping people, do you? Machete's coming this way. Machete Yeti?
Where's the last reel? Do you all have it? I know where it is. Or if you come over
You know where it is?
Yeah, it's over here. Or if you come over here,
Oh my god, am I a complete monster? I want to finish the rest of the chips.
Oh, cool, I got another bottle. This one, and then press the button.
Oh, that's a fake Joe.
Waiting fate. I was right next to you.
No, there's actually a fake Joe behind you.
No, that was not behind me.
No, not that way. You see that? The other way.
Thank you. Thank you, bro.
Hey, hey, hey! Oh my god, oh my god.
They get it, hiding.
Oh, who's coming out?
It's time for mass. Please report to the chapel for readings and afternoon prayers.
What the fuck is happening?
The other way.
I thought the what is it?
We're still getting chased?
The beta test is finished.
For what?
Wait.
Right there. No, he's not. Alright. Yeah, good to go. We can go that direction anyway.
Oh fuck, I should have waited for Ori.
Trust me, I'm used to it at this point.
Oh no, this story.
What the actual fuck?
Sorry. Yeah, we're doing
Oh
it
shit.
together.
Shit. I and Club.
I am Club. Don't have a
Kimchi run, Kimchi run, Kimchi run, Kimchi run.
No. We're in the dark. We're fine.
You see that?
That's I.
You can't just take the drug. You have to believe in the drug.
There's always a special surprise.
There's the body downstairs, too. Yep, it's going this way.
Too much reality in these parts.
Oh no. Run. Oh, John.
Namu, help me with this generator.
No, that door. Nope, there's somebody on me now. There's somebody on me. Oh, there isn't.
Oh god. Kimchi, we might have to run.
Right there.
No, just go away from me.
Side.
There's literally nowhere else to run to.
Just run past me.
Alright, it's not this one.
What was it? I hear him. Well, fuck.
Want me to check outside? Wait, I hear
that.
Yeah. Do you have a glass bottle or anything by any chance or no?
Oh my god.
You see that?
No, I'm trying.
Alright, kill place walking away. Wait, I have X-ray.
You're close, be careful.
Namu, take her somewhere else. I'm gonna crank it.
Oh, did you? Okay, my bad.
Fuck me.
This body is not.
Yeah, she's right there.
That my daily just might be coming out with a movie.
Namu, where are you?
I'm kind of behind you.
Okay, fine. I'll do the other generator.
I have a gas canister with me.
Okay, well I'm filling. Just get her away from me. Just get her away from me. Thank you.
Locking it.
Thank you.
Motion it.
Never
mind.
Stay right there. You have the escape route.
Oh, god damn it.
Shit. Namu, she's on me.
Shows you.
I'm gonna run in the circle real quick.
And then the other one's probably.
Motherfucker. Watch out. Scum.
Fuck me.
Come back.
Namu, are you doing it?
Yeah, I think that's the door.
Okay.
Yeah, it's door. We need. I think it's the basement.
Fuck, I don't have anything to throw anymore. Nice, 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 nice. Let's go.
My son should be up soon.
Okay. I'm grabbing this poster. Let's run. She doesn't go upstairs, I think. Okay, we're good. That's fake Ori.
Kimchi brought him to us. I'm dead.
No, I didn't bring in nobody. Did you guys find any?
Oh my god. Yeah, we got both the keys.
Nice.
Fake me.
Oh, no, no, no.
They have the keys, we just have to wait for them to come here.
Oh, man.
Nice, nice, nice. Oh, wait, fake Ori still? Oh shit. Who's that? Oh, gas man.
We need an escape.
Be cool. That's like taking your hand as if somebody were holding a
Hi,
bottle of
Rainer.
soju.
You're super good at this now? Not really.
We should grab that.
I'll grab this. I got 2 antidotes, just letting you guys know in case you need one.
Okay.
I have an antidote.
Ori, you want to do the honors?
Okay. Because my natural habitat.
You should be clear.
Oh, cool, a church. I haven't gone to church in a very long time.
And Kimchi's
Rainer,
preaching.
how are you? Oh, I am, huh?
This is probably the reason why.
Full dong. Full dong.
Anybody has any wallpapers that looks like
Yeah, always screaming. Just ignore it.
Wow.
Ancient.
Imagine.
TOS.
Imagine.
Apparently this is not
Imagine.
Israel. Yeah. We're not gonna get into that subject, but fortunately,
Rainer.
you got kind of wallpapers and flooring.
Apparently this is not TOS. I don't understand how.
It's not?
But
No, it's not.
it's not TOS.
Oh.
And know
Regroup
that
in the
Lord
what?
Jesus, the same night which he was betrayed, took bread, and he brake
Wait, where are we blitzing to?
Oh, what the fuck?
Back this way, right? Back this way? Okay.
Someone's gonna come out. Someone's gonna come out.
Alright, cool. Does anyone have anything to throw? Or
You
stun?
have stun right now, but-
Stun? Okay.
I'm ready. I'm still ready.
It is
Or you
raining
just
blood.
get ready to like run.
I'm right behind you.
Go.
Okay, come over here, come over here, come over here, come over here.
Get back here!
On the side. Jump over.
I can't jump. Just go.
Go forwards towards the exit. Anything that says exit. forwards. Go
This way.
forwards the exit. Go forwards the exit. Forwards, exit, forwards, yes.
Hold it right there.
Nope, you could stay over there.
Press the button.
Oh my god. Don't flee.
Nice stab.
We're good.
Okay, go through.
I got them.
Nice. Let's go. Hi, Pokey Panda. Welcome in. How are you
So
doing?
what you're saying is we can flash
3-hour
down.
road trip. Where are you going?
Pretty much.
Where are you going?
I mean, we got you plus. That's fine.
And then as a guide to what
You got an A minus?
should
Dude,
be
I
fed to
fucking
mags,
did
mine has level 1 on
1.5
deck since I fed it
generators.
weapons.
Oh my god, I got a different color pair of jorts.
Oh, which one? Which one did you get?
I got khaki and blue.
Why was my reward a
Let's
monkey?
go.
Let's go.
No comment?
Wait, what?
My reward was a monkey.
No comment?
Racially
no
motivated.
comment. We're not gonna talk about that one.
I got that too.
Is it? Wait, you're a DJ? Yo, send me some playlists though.
You're making so much progress. Can you feel it?
Man, I need to
Can you feel yourself
eat the
changing?
rest of these chips. The crumbs. I need to eat the crumbs. Hold on.
Ew.
I got some like hot cheese popcorn that I can't wait to try.
Nice.
Thanks for the lurk, Lunar. I appreciate it.
Yo, who's a DJ?
I also got Buffalo Ranch Doritos.
Well, thank you, Lunar, for the lurk.
You mostly stream DJing. I didn't know that. Interesting. When do you stream? Thank you so much for the lyric Lunar song. I
You
appreciate
gonna have
it.
any smart shit to say to me this time? How I'm special? My mommy tells me that all the time.
Wait, what?
What am I listening to?
The doctor called me special.
I'm into anything with heavy bass. Bass. Bass.
2 brisk ads back
Bass.
to back. Is it just only just 2? Also, why'd you get 2? You should only get 1.
Where's my room? Oh, up there.
I don't know why Twitch has been like this.
We get anything
I
new?
was drinking it earlier.
No. Nothing new?
Oh yeah, that's
Boo.
right. I got new stuff for my room. Where's my room? Which way's my room? Oh, it's downstairs this time. Hey Joe, my room's next to yours.
Hey.
Well, it's 2 doors down, but still.
Okay.
Oh, what's wrong? Yes. Oh, there we go.
You haven't streamed
again.
much since post-lockdown, but I'll hop on once in a blue moon.
There we
Wow.
Yeah,
Hopefully
just
a
2,
blue
but they were
moon's on
short,
the
so
weekends
whatever,
that I
was
can
working
watch.
on it. I just
I'm too
guys-
busy
yeah,
doing
no,
weekdays.
definitely save your money. I mean, I definitely appreciate the thought of giving this up, but
Save your lunch money!
money,
Well, I can
save your
take
lunch
it. I
money
mean,
is-
what?
You're such a bully.
I'm kidding. I'm
no.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
No.
kidding.
I'm not.
I'll take Namu's lunch money.
I'll take lunch money.
I'll try it.
Namu, you
I'll
know
eat
good and well if I
lunch.
try taking your lunch money, it'll just end up me and you just treating each other to food. Let's just be real.
Hey, someone arm wrestle me.
Good point.
Kimchi.
Not...
I
Okay.
went to savings.
I'm gonna
almost now,
die,
but
but
now-
okay.
Yeah, for sure. Like again,
I don't know how to
just
do
like-
this.
You're going to die?
I don't know how to arm wrestle. I'm
Use
really
your
bad
arms.
at timing. Oh fuck.
Ah, no rhythm. I forgot.
Oh fuck.
My bad.
All right, me next.
I'm really bad at timing
Okay.
games.
Don't worry, I'm about to lose too.
Hope he was something.
I have zero
Oh, I missed
timing.
that one.
Good look
I don't even have any monies. I can't buy anything.
I need more tickets.
Burn. No rhythm.
Yeah, I need
item.
more tickets. When am I gonna?
Oh, she said that
level
I
before.
have to pee. I really have to pee.
Then pee already.
Don't go, yeah, don't go
No,
pee.
I'm arm wrestling
All over
you.
the desk? Like, come on.
There you go.
Alright, I go pee now.
Yeah, go pee.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
I don't know what combo I want to go with. Huh.
Oh. Ori, are you actually still playing him?
What? She went.
Oh no. Where's Mika? Mika, I think Mika's sleeping right now, bunnies.
Mika is in California with Kimchi.
That's a lie. And if Mika was ever with Kimchi right now, I would just go over to Kimchi and
You don't know where I'm at.
I will.
Got you, Namu.
Hunt you.
Namu,
You
I'll give you daddy.
what?
I mean,
No,
what?
I have a new address. What are you talking about?
You wrote. Kimchi, you know where I know where that one is too, right?
You don't know the exact one.
I know the building.
Yeah, but you don't know the exact one, so technically,
I do.
we'll just call the cops and Joe'd be bye
Oh,
bye.
and also I'll charge you for kidnapping.
What are you gonna do? Black guy with afro. Oh
Kidnapping?
no! Wait, there's not
you
one
know
here.
exactly where? You know where
Yeah,
Kimchi is, MK?
We got you, Namu.
Well, I don't know where
Unless-
Mika is anyways, so it's fine. Relax.
I'll give you the addy for that too. So
Oh,
you
wait,
both can
what?
just-
You just want to cause turmoil. I thought we were the chaotic ones.
No, Namu's chaos. I'm just neutral. I believe that if both people want to cause chaos, they should have equal terms.
You know, but you're not gonna tell. Tell me, MK. Tell
Exactly.
me.
That's why nothing's gonna happen.
Namu would never come over here. I have way too many spiders.
Jumping spiders.
It depends. If Mika's in danger, he might.
Oh yeah.
Want to see my spider, Namu?
I don't know, just jumping spiders. So I think they're all right. I'm not sure. I've never like. Yeah, no. Kimchi actually has
Okay, I'm back.
has spiders for pets. For jumping spiders.
captivity.
Look at this one. This one's so cute. Hold on.
Burn them all. Damn.
What are
Look
we
at how
looking at?
cute.
She's
The
stream. I think
jumping
she has a spider on it.
Look
I'm
how
not looking at her stream right
cute. It's so cute.
Those words will never come out my mouth.
This one's Buns. Buns is the big boy.
I don't mind jumping spiders, but I will not go out of my way for them.
And then this is the one
They're in my
that
house. Cool. I'll let them
hitchhiked
outside.
today.
That's it.
It's so
I
tiny.
just don't call things
This is
cute
why
in
flamethrowers
general.
were invented. Burn the
So
house
cute.
down.
Okay, Joe. Now that I don't have to pee, arm wrestle.
Cute.
No, I don't like the eyes. I don't like the the way they move.
Okay,
Oh my
I already missed that.
god. I need more Spideys.
No,
No,
you
you don't.
don't.
Yes. Look how adorable
She's gonna have like an
this
army
one
of spiders.
Oh, I messed up.
Look
Jessica.
how cute.
I kept fucking up at like the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're way too fast for how scary they are.
That's like the one
so
thing
the
I will not
reason
do with
why I have
spiders.
arachnophobia, because I was a little kid and I saw like a big spider actually chasing me.
Yeah, see, there's a reason why I'm arachnophobic. It's called I had 3 brothers I grew up with, and they pushed me in a nest of spiders. Yeah.
Sounds like dicks.
You just give me
Spiders
ideas
are
for what I
cute.
should do now move for October.
I hate you.
You're gonna throw a nest
Yo,
of
my
spiders
friend,
too.
at
I shit you
Namu?
not. No, like my friend, I throw a fake spider at him every October, and this man literally almost cries. It is the funniest fucking thing ever.
Namu.
So is it funny if it happens to you?
That sounds like bullying.
Yeah,
You know,
actually,
that
it is
moment
funny
I
if
was
it
scared
happens
of my
to me,
youth
though.
because of them. Yeah. What's the next trial we have to do?
You call it bullying. I call it
second
facing your fears. The second one, feed the children.
The second part of the third one.
Yep, this one.
The second part of the third one.
Feed the children.
Nom nom
AIDS is
nom
waiting to
nom
arm
nom
wrestle
nom
someone.
nom. I don't think
Trials
I
ready for subjects. Please proceed to the shuttle.
ever contribute to this one ever. I usually do really bad
Well,
on this
you can-
one.
Today's your first time for everything. So
Kimchi can't be like the last time. I got a fucking C, and I didn't even get hit once.
How did that happen?
I don't even
I
know.
was going to take a bath.
Amu got smacked the entire game and got an A+.
What?
That was a big ass cat face. Killed right above the water level.
Maybe he was
Ran the fuck
doing
out of there.
the objectives? Or...
Oh. Very true, Panda.
Yeah, dude, they
Very
look,
true.
they look creepy as hell.
Yo, that was my wrist.
Panda, you're
Wait,
fucking
did you say spiders look creepy as hell?
Yep.
You know what spiders
No.
that I would never go near but are really pretty? Orb weavers. Super pretty.
I had
What
one.
the fuck did I just watch?
I let that one go outside. It didn't
Because
look like
I
it was
absolutely love
happy in
crab.
captivity.
The reason why I would say I would love crab is because I would love to eat them.
Ma'am, what you just did with that drill, you better not be licking it. Oh, bleh.
you already knew what time it was. You knew what time it was, or. But yeah, like I was telling Namu, apparently it's rumored that they want to update this part for instead of us having like Big Mama, we're gonna have like the actual nun. That's the goodness, I guess.
Those things.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool. At least it'll be a little bit more sporadic, I guess.
I mean, considering all the nun stuff they have here, I wouldn't be surprised that was the original idea. They just probably didn't have time.
Yeah.
To flush it out.
Well, this game,
I mean,
people kept like
no
pressuring
release.
it.
Yeah. To be fair, they kind of brought it upon themselves, so they announced it like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And they kept like not giving
well,
anything.
yeah. You had 5 years to work on a fucking game. That's
Yeah.
Proceed with caution.
But at the same time, it's your first multiplayer game, and it's an indie studio, so.
This is for you.
Yeah.
You're first.
Oh, okay, thank you. Like how it said proceed with caution, and all of us are just the dog is chewing on the wall. This
Dog's
motherfucker.
chewing on the wall?
Yeah, this puppy's a
We're going for
menace.
Crab, MK, like.
Oh, you mean the actual dog?
Fuck you, my dude.
So far, I've got
Oh.
2 posters.
An adult right here.
Bottle.
Soup of the day.
Fuck.
Hella protein in it.
Oh, is this the one where we put all the bodies in?
No.
No. There's already body parts in here. You're
That's
bleach.
fucking
You're adding bleach.
disgusting. Yo, we get to eat bleach? Hell yeah.
Oh, we're not eating it.
Okay. A bottle, antidote, and healing.
Oh. 1 gallon of bleach.
Adrenaline.
So we need to get like 2 bottles from each area. I guess we're going this way first.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there's a syringe there.
I have one, not with the other one.
Oh fuck. Yeah. Shit.
I got you.
Dang, you didn't want a little PP man. Did y'all lock me out? This way.
Overshared in your music channel? Oh no. It's all happened.
Where?
Never mind. To your left.
Fuck, I hate that it already got fucking damaged.
This looks useful.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
What do you mean, oh shit?
Oh, that was close.
God, why are you like this?
What?
You said oh shit
I
so
don't
many
want to get
times.
I just don't want to get
If you're around,
poisoned.
listen to it, tell me what you like. Okay.
Bro, I can see
over here.
crack.
Kimchi over here.
Did we get the second can?
Yeah, not right now. Wait, this way.
Hold on, I hear
Wait, how do we get out of here?
Yeah, follow me.
The other way?
He's on the other side.
Pretty sure it's the other way, Mama.
Now do they know I'm hungry?
I'm hungry too.
I'm coming around. Let's make sure it's not
This way, Namu.
Yeah, I think we're good.
He's on the other side of us.
He's leaving the room.
Bash.
Okay, well.
Bash.
And
Careful. Run. Run. Good job.
Alright.
Let's
Got
go
one
get
bleach
the
down.
one on the other side.
Just kind of affirmate these after just thinking about it. Yo!
Run.
I think Twitch is like stalking you, MK.
Turn the lights. We should be here.
Okay.
Behind you.
Let's find the next one, yeah? You want to go this one right there.
As long as you don't go right in front of him.
Over there.
Yeah, I'll
He just ran around. And then he comes to the knife, so he can't see.
Let's
Look in the shade, he has night vision goggles.
Let's head out.
See that?
Anyway, what we're looking for, yeah, the bleach. Yeah. No, Ando right there.
Yep, blind guy over there.
Wait, let's go
Blind
this way
Bob.
first, Namu. Let's go this way first.
I keep forgetting I have a fucking bottle on me.
Let's go that way. But machete lady's over here, so careful.
It was so bad. I was in the
Oh shit.
What?
big dude, small peen.
Did you listen?
Just crack.
Never mind.
Yep.
I think we'll be good.
That's a lot.
What are they saying?
Yeah, the more farther we are apart from them. Uh-oh.
I like how they
That
can't
does
hear
not
us.
sound good.
I can hear them clear as day.
Wait,
There's none here.
go this way.
Yeah, let's go up.
Oh. Do you have anything
Oh,
to
fuck,
throw
fuck,
with?
fuck, fuck. I threw it, but she didn't phase her. It didn't phase her. There's a fucking screamer in here now.
Want to show me where the bleach is by X-ray? I don't think so. You can ask Namu if he's used X-ray.
Namu, I found one.
Namu, if you use X-ray, will she have bleaches or no? It don't work. No.
Okay, say it again, sorry.
Oh, it's right here. Okay. Ori was asking if you use the X-ray, is it possible to see like where the key items are?
This could come in handy.
No, it's not.
It's just that it's sometimes just like very hard to see, and also it pulsates.
Did you see that?
Okay. Oh,
Be
careful.
I have one on them. There's a bottle right
This
here.
could come in handy.
Alright, yeah. Hey, you are pretty amazing, MK. You are amazing. Not just pretty amazing, you are amazing. Okay? Okay, you are amazing.
Alright, let's go back over there. Might be one more.
How many are there?
No, actually, no. We already got bottles from over there from the pool, right?
Yeah, we got one from over there too just now.
No.
Okay, so that area is clear.
So we need one more over
one more
here.
from over here. Yeah.
It's gonna be on the left side, in the back. Yeah, it's gonna be through here.
See that?
Watch out for the blind dude.
Yeah, let's just step on the ladder.
Oh fuck.
I'm in my natural habitat.
What? Oh, bomb?
Watch out. I am my natural habitat.
Someone was thinking.
It's right here.
Skill set.
Yeah.
It's right here.
Let's
I
go,
got
okay.
it.
Yeah, guys, we found the bottle.
Yeah, there's a guy by us. Yeah, I know. I'll come.
One.
It's not safe for me to come out.
Money all around.
Wait. When you hear it, go back to the elevator. You're straight. He's gone.
Which way's the way out?
Wait, over here, Kimchi, over here.
Don't run. Okay, so I'm gonna give you want adrenaline or medicine?
I have both. Or I don't have adrenaline, I have medicine, but I'm okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Well, you
fine.
take it in that deep room.
There we go. I'm just muscle.
Let's frickin' go, gamer.
The last bottle in.
Jesus! Why was that like that? Oh, there's a fake someone somewhere.
Yeah, fake, what was that? Oh my god.
Who's that? Mom, are you good? I don't have anything.
Hey,
After this, we were just running away, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Alright, y'all ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Speed to the what happens here?
We have to exit.
We run to the exit, but
Yep.
Baby Mama comes.
We have to get out here. I got sun ready.
Okay.
I have bottle.
You throw the ball first, and I'll follow up with the stuff.
Okay. Mom's here.
Let's go. Oh, there we go. That should give us some time.
It's not open?
Wait, it's open now.
Now it is.
It's open now. Go.
Look up.
This way.
Alright. I don't stop.
Fuck. Oh my god.
I got you. I had to recharge her.
Nice. We're out. Dang. That was fast. How fast are we clearing them now?
How the fuck did I get
11 minutes?
That's probably because
I
stepped out of
damage.
mine. That yeah, I stepped out of mine.
Oh, apparently level 40 is a cap right now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Are you at level 40?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Bro, this looks like the most fucked
I'm
up
still
crew of
level
Ghostbusters I've
18.
ever seen.
Wait, let me follow Pokebear. Follow.
Like I said, you look like
Yo,
the most
Visual, how's it going?
busted fucking group of Ghostbusters.
If I have a active mod here, can I have a child for Vigilante? How are you doing, man?
All three of your active
Okay.
mods are kind of playing right now, Namu.
Right, I mean
Yeah,
active
don't know
mods
to-
that are like on the chat, not playing with me. That's what I meant. I thought I can give him stuff for my child, but like yeah. How are you doing, Vigil? Just chilling before I head out tonight. Hey, where you going, man?
Where you going?
Where are you going?
That's much more busted to be out. Yeah, yeah. At least
Oh,
there's
thank you,
more
Joe.
customization here. Bro, why am I taking 10
Emo
years
night?
to
Oh,
fucking
hell
load?
yeah.
Bro, I haven't gone to an emo night in God knows how long. I think the last one I went to was like 5 years ago.
The last one I went to was
when?
last year.
I
It
went
was
like
fun.
5 years ago when I had just turned 21.
It was fun. It was a
Wow.
good throwback.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Mm.
So is that your plan for the night? Emo night?
I have 5 out of
There
9
for the
tier 2
throwback.
subscriptions.
Well, I hope you have a good time over there. I don't know what else I'm supposed to be doing right now. Oh, and also Visual, I am capped at this game right now. Apparently level 40 is the highest you can go right now.
Namu's addicted to this game.
Hey, Namu. Hey, Namu.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Namu.
Yes.
Sit down.
Wait, what?
Have a seat. Just take a seat.
Oh, okay. So, what do you want to talk about? Shit.
The fact that you didn't even fucking understand the Chris Henson fucking... Just take a seat.
That's what it was?
Yeah.
Go, Lifey.
I don't know, like you're not even level 10 yet. Wait, I thought you were like more than that. Or is it because I'm just like comparing to Ani with like everyone else?
Kimchi, you next.
Me? No, I'm just gonna fail. I mean, we can watch me fail. That's fine.
Improve.
I mean, I know who Chris Henson is, but I just don't know what. Any like references?
Shit.
Is she a sweat?
Fuck.
Yeah, a lot of people have been like
You've been better this time.
From what I've seen.
Fuck! Fuck!
Honestly, the only
I haven't won
good
like.
rhythm games I can play is the one with music.
So, Joe, your turn.
When you play
Round 3, come on, leave me alone, Ori.
Leave me alone.
Whenever you have the time, just let me know when you want to play.
I'm not bullying people, Panda. See, Joe's beating me.
No, Ori's definitely bullying.
Joe just won!
I think you just let him win.
I kinda did. Why are all the randoms wanting to fight me now?
The games were lit last time. Oh hell yeah, dude!
God damn it. This random might win.
I do now have all the. I do now have all the.
Let me use the
loadouts,
restroom. I'll be right back.
Like to the max.
Okay.
Be right back. Be right back.
Wait, what's the next thing we have to do?
Panda. It's gonna be Trial 3, Part 3.
Right, and I was wondering which one was going to be.
That one is going to be Foster the Orphans.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
Honestly, at this point, me and Joe are kind of tied on arm wrestling.
Or kind of what?
Tied on arm wrestling.
Yeah. I think technically I have like 1 extra victory, and then she's going to probably like get 4 more.
You have to have confidence in yourself, dude.
Oh no, I have confidence I'll beat everybody else here. Relatively consistently.
See, I keep losing now.
Damn.
This is what this game is all about. Arm wrestling.
Fuck. Fuck. Fuck.
That's all I'm hearing. She's like, fuck, 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 fuck.
I'll be perfect.
We'll put the next one on a timer.
I don't think Kimchi's AFK. Kimchi's AFK.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
That's what it.
Just slapped in arm wrestling. Yeah, that's fine. Not really anything to be proud of. It's arm wrestling, dude.
Puppy time. Ow,
Was it
ow,
me,
Minnie.
or is does Ori?
Minnie, no. That hurts.
What's your favorite game soundtrack of all time? Shit, dude. What's up with this hard question, man?
Huh?
Damn. No, someone in chat
I'm
asked me
back.
like, what's your favorite game soundtrack of all time?
Hmm.
Because right now, one thing that can just
Who
get on
took
top
the
of my
L?
head
I mean,
is,
imagine trying to boast winning in arm wrestling to somebody that's half blind.
Wait, is it me or does Ori keeps cutting out?
It's just you.
It sounded fine to me.
I don't know what's going on then. My favorite game soundtrack of all time.
You see the dubs? I mean, I don't really care.
Oh.
Homeboy has got you guys right. I mean, again, half blind. So.
Oh, you should go.
Good job. Good job.
Good girl.
What about you, Visual?
So proud of
you
you.
first, because I can't really, because there's a lot in my mind right now. Like I literally have like a list, like Final Fantasy VII remake,
guys,
Ori, and the
guys, hold on.
Blind Forest series.
Guys. Right. This guy right here thinks he's hot shit in my chat. Keeps winning in arm wrestling. Congratulations. I am so proud of you.
Is
Make
he
sure
giving
your
you
mom
shit
gives
right
you
now?
a cookie. Yeah, he goes, crew took the L. Bruh, you see these dubs, homeboy got you guys running half blind. This is arm wrestling. You got half an arm too. Literally, you gotta see timing. Having one eye, no depth perception, no peripheral. That's already a handicap, my dude. So, like, you're boasting about something in a game. Small peen energy. Just saying.
Yo, that last I'm
Just saying. Just saying. Small peen energy.
man.
No, it's fine. You can leave him be. Don't give him that
Alright.
satisfaction.
Yo, but that last comment was not cool, man. Just saying.
Yeah, that's okay. They have small PP energy. It's okay.
Yeah.
Why brag about? Okay. I'm ready whenever
Ori,
you
do you
guys
want me
are.
to?
No, you. I mean, if you go free, free game.
You know?
Oh, sorry.
Damn, you were both quick as fuck.
That's why I
My
asked, should I?
boys.
Hey.
My boys.
Old school fighting games, Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts are also up there.
My
Yo,
boys.
nice.
Yo, they literally at the same exact time on, like, not even cooldown type of shit.
Joe got there faster, I guess.
No, it literally, like, it was the same exact time type of shit.
Yeah, because yours will happen at the same time, Namu. So I banned him, you unbanned him, and banned him again.
Oh my god. Thank you so much for the like, Fatal Knight. Thank you, thank you. I
So randos can
appreciate
join
it.
in the room. So this is just a lobby. And I think you could have up to like 2 sets
Yo,
of
this is
characters.
good. Every time when I was like working out before,
Thank you so much.
when I was like working out
Have a
before
good
Visual,
night's
like
rest.
I always listen to like Tekken 7. Kingdom Hearts is good as well.
But like I said, dude, that guy just gave off small PP energy. It's okay.
Yeah, but we just don't take that kind of shit in anyone's stream. So
They're probably 12.
Probably.
yeah. Who cares how old they are? We just don't take that kind of shit.
Nah, it's fine.
Maybe you guys are wondering.
They have nothing
chat,
better
yeah,
to.
I just had to ban someone from Ori stream because they think they're just being a big boy right now.
Small peen energy. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, just a very small peen. Like actually, it's not It's not there. It's just not
It's smaller
there at
than the
all.
killer in this game.
Nah. It's like a micro. It's just like a micro thing.
Is that a microaggression?
Oh my
Like, yeah, that little microaggression.
What the hell is happening here?
Nina's theme from Tekken 3. Yo, Nina's theme, yeah.
Bro.
Wait, actually,
I
Visual,
see.
are you
Long
excited for
drives.
Tekken 8? I was thinking about appearing that.
Oh god, I hate kids. I never want kids. Remind me to never have kids, guys. Okay, thanks.
That's not my responsibility. You already have Orlando and Bread, so you have 2 kids.
Yep.
Yeah, remind me to stop adopting.
To be fair, I
Don't
didn't tell you to
consider
adopt in the
Crusty-
first place.
Don't consider Crusty as your son, then. You already have 2 kids, okay?
The nephews, not children.
Yeah, okay. Lando and Bredius, I can consider as my nephew. Crusty?
Yeah.
No.
Who?
Crusty.
No, we're not adding any more to his family. I'm sorry.
I don't remember this one,
complex
guys.
enough.
Bro, I don't have any items.
There. And
What are we supposed to do with this one?
This looks useful.
Brick or like.
it's the same. It's gonna be the same house, but it's not the same mission.
Oh, there's a bottle.
Alright, Ori Kimchi for this one, it's matching up.
I'm not gonna lie
efficiency.
to you.
Yep, our favorite part of the mission.
Sure. I'm gonna act
Kimchi,
like I know what that
do
is.
the honors.
Yeah. Got it.
Remember that little radio thing?
What did I do there?
Sure.
This one.
I'm just here for a good time. That's all.
Yep.
Like when my friend's boyfriend yelled at me for smoking my vape, I told him I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Wow. This way? Yeah.
I don't know, I heard.
There's no one in there, by the way.
In where? Oh, in the trash
The
can?
trash can.
Where I
Somebody
belong.
heard that.
Oh no.
Fuck me.
No, thank you.
Not actually.
I know.
What's our objective? Frequencies.
Alright, ooh, great.
Oh, yeah, frequency.
Fuck it. Alright, you good? No. I'm coming. Alright, he's done. Come on. Run. Never mind. job is to keep my twin
I
safe.
don't need that.
That's my
I just
only
need
job.
this. Oh shit, no, thing to swap. Is that you, Namu? Fuck, don't scare me.
Y'all did not
Say
tell me.
something, bro.
I'm not trying to Big Mama's here.
Okay.
No. That's Big Mama.
You need antidotes?
No, I'm good. Hmm.
I'll take antidote.
Hey, Stinky, how are you? Fucking Joe tells me to run one way and it's like, fuck it, run straight into another enemy.
Nice.
Yep, now you understand why I hate Joe shit through the wall. We didn't, so we actually bashed through the wall. We have broke open that door. Alright, I found one. By the way, we can scout now. Am I ready to go?
This could come in handy. This could come in handy.
Ironically, we found the brick that is right here.
Okay, easy.
The brick that is right here.
Are you good? Are you gonna make her go far from me, or... Oh, thanks.
How do I drop an item? A G. Get the whole G, I think. Okay.
Oh shit. Did you lose her? Oh, Namu, careful. Alright, come on.
We're good.
Let's go this way.
Watch out.
Namu? Namu? And there's the psychosis guy. Go this way, go this way. Fuck, fuck, fuck! Get her off me!
I got you. Now
Come on, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Oh my god.
Oh shit! Fuck my life, fuck my life.
Watch out for it. Wait, I have X-ray. Alright,
That was intense.
I don't see any skeletons. We should be fine. You would also see a blue outline.
X-pop, right there.
White dots. Oh, Namu just pinged one.
Namu, have we...
Yep.
I didn't... I pinged
No,
him.
that was
Thanks,
Kimchi. That
guys.
was Kimchi. That was Kimchi, guys. Come on.
I forgot after my X-ray runs out. My night vision.
They don't even care about the credit! Ugh.
Rig recharge.
Over there.
Oh boy.
Oh wait, I need that bottle.
Anything? Nothing in here?
Yep, I
Thank you,
got it.
Sugar.
That's yours.
You want it? I have like,
Sure.
like 2 of them.
Need battery? Or you good?
Yes, I do. No, I don't need it. It's
Oh,
fine.
no?
Come on, let's go. Yeah, we don't need it.
We should be able to take the battery.
Okay, well this is back at the front, so we have to go this way again.
There's a brick if you want.
There has to
No,
be
I
one
feel,
in
I
here.
no, I feel like there's gonna be a frequency in the pool.
At the pool? Fuck me. Not literally.
They're close, be careful.
No, I just pinged her. Okay, Namu, okay.
He comes here, I swear to God. She does. Racially motivated.
Guys, there's gonna be one at the pool, for sure. But,
Oh no, wait. Check out night vision guy.
Yeah, there's a frequency over there. I got this one.
Nope. Hide.
Got it.
nice, nice, nice. Hide, hide, hide. He's like right there on that side. How many more do we have? One more. Okay, fuck. Where's the other one? Careful, careful,
Watch
careful.
out.
Right there. Behind us.
I got a brick and I ain't afraid to use it. Come on, let's go. Crawl.
Can you stun? Stun, stun, stun.
I'm in mine right now.
What the fuck? Oh shit. Come on. Namu, where'd you go?
Yeah,
I went this way.
no, we're walking.
Oh fuck. They're right next to me. Fuck, there's two next to me.
Right. Yep.
And we're back to the beginning. You can hide in here. You have to. Make sure we're good.
fact that you could hide through this and they don't fucking
Yeah.
see you.
Hey, Kimchi.
What's the crazy shit?
So,
I don't see them. I'll walk ahead.
There's one to
No,
the
nobody
left when
followed
you go through.
Alright, we're good.
we just need
Left in that, like, where that
more.
carousel, or like the merry-go-round
Nope,
is.
they're right there.
The
Hold
big
up,
guy
wait a
was in-
minute.
Yeah.
Machete's right over there. Machete locker.
Thanks. Checking walkers. I just hopped into one. Bruh. We need one more. Where did we not check yet? Namu, what the fuck's happening with you?
Am I safe to come in?
Yeah.
Amisha. Yeah, you should be fine. Kimchi said you're fine and immediately hides.
Because I heard breathing.
Because I heard breathing.
She heard breathing, she hides. That's
It could be
Kimchi
my
rule.
fan in the background, because it is hot as fuck in here.
That was it. No, it was alright.
It's gonna be this way then, yeah?
Oh, I saw a poster. I was trying to grab it. Yeah, I'm towards you. Do you want us to go towards you or Kimchi?
It's gonna be this way, yeah? I think it's gonna be.
Hey, why am I leading the pack?
Why? Wouldn't it happen like the person who's partially blind be the
It's
best
gonna be
person
this
to
way,
lead the
right?
pack?
No.
Oh.
Complete
You do better than
opposite.
Boom Man. At least you
You
can
know
tell
what? That's actually
directions.
kind of funny. That's kind of funny. Antidote if anybody needs one.
I'm good.
X-pop, right there.
Oh, a brick at the mud.
I got a brick.
I have a mine.
Cell game. My shit. Beautiful.
Is he immune to bricks? Hey, yo. Yo, homie, listen. We can talk this out, man.
That's racially motivated.
Yeah.
And I'm going this way.
Big kimchi, big kimchi.
Oh no, yeah. Big kimchi.
They're close, be careful.
Why is this funny to me?
Oh my god.
It's a trap. X-pop, right there.
Namu.
Come on. Mine. There we go.
Okay, come on.
I'll just hide in a trash can. I'm coming towards you, worry.
This could come in handy.
Yeah,
What did you miss? You missed almost,
glass bottle.
you missed a fluster clock over there.
And another one.
Did that mannequin just lunge at you? I hope not.
Yep, over here.
Okay, so it's not here, right?
Hey, yo.
Because we went to the pool already, Namu. We're going backwards, right?
Right, no, yeah, but I'm gonna like try to go like around to the left. If there is.
Okay, I'll follow you.
MK, if you play this game, I'll help you out.
You don't come after me.
Look.
I'll distract him, you go on.
I'm looking. I'll go this way, I'll go in here.
Maybe this around this area.
Yeah. I'm looking on this side.
What am I looking for again?
The frequencies, the radios. Wait, Namu?
No. Big Mama's here?
Wouldn't we find like something on the floor? Shit, where's it coming from? Oh fuck. Oh god, guys, come on, bro. Oh, not this way. Don't go this way. Don't go this way.
Hello, here to spray for the roaches. You thought you could hide?
How?
Now you know.
Thank you.
Fuck. I can't see.
I gotta make it back to Ori. But right now, Bit Dude is,
Bro.
Just pass me.
Bro, I have both of them in here. Hi, Commander.
Go to the gooseberry patch.
Bitch. This bitch is here too. Gooseberry's in here too. Someone's gotta get me out.
What are you doing?
There's nobody there, Dad.
Damn it.
Gooseberry's here.
Yes, Gooseberry's here. Bro, I'm in the corner. I'm not even hidden.
There. There, I gave you an out, Kimchi.
Thank you. I don't like him. He scares me. Get me out, get me out, get me out.
Over there.
I'm disarming this door.
Where are you guys? Oh, fuck me. Fucking hate psychosis, bro.
I got found.
Wait, Kimchi, where are you?
I'm right here.
Oh.
You're like running around me.
I have psychosis.
You have psychosis?
Yeah.
Wait. There's an extra person. That's an extra Joe. Who needs this?
Me.
Oh.
Okay,
I'm
Where's
dying.
G? Here you go.
Nice,
Here.
nice.
Fuck. What's up? Why are we not at the gate?
Oh.
I just had both of them on me.
Oh, God. That was pain.
I'll hydrate in a second. Who set off the mine?
Kimchi.
Me?
Yeah, whoever ran from you set off the mine.
It wasn't me.
Which I'm
It was the
assuming-
fake me then.
The fake you can't set off mines.
Well, it wasn't me, so...
We'll figure
Why are
out
you
during
crouching?
grades.
Alright. Oh my god! No!
What do we have to do?
Run. Run.
What?
Run. This way.
Oh, here. What's up, homie? Press the button, Kimchi.
Yep. No objections there.
I'll have my red. So I can't heal. In.
Never mind.
Oh my god.
Nah, we stop trying to troll a ghost.
Bro, I got smacked so hard at the end there. They both hit me. That shit hurt.
Haiku, what the hell, man?
I have an A+, so it definitely wasn't me.
I will take an A-. I do not care. I will take the A-.
Yeah, you got me, dude. Happy? Are you happy, dude?
I didn't even... I'm like
I think I'm gonna
two
change my
experiences off from leveling, bro.
All I know is I'm gonna change my outfit because I'm tired of the jorts.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
rage, man. Fuck.
I actually have the same outfit as Kimchi does.
Damn near
Jacket and the red bow tie.
I'd almost think you're the one teaching me.
I think I have the outfit now.
I don't want to go to work tomorrow, man.
Don't either. Well, actually, I don't have to. It's Saturday.
Well, because,
Bad.
like, do they have Crocs and does it come in sports mode? I wish. But, no, because I have to go to work and close tomorrow, and then I have to be up at, like, 8 in the morning on Sunday. to go to the Gay Pride Festival for work, and then go to work directly afterwards, and then work Monday.
All I heard was work, work, work.
That's literally what it is.
I'm sad about work. I don't want to talk about it.
But I switched shifts with someone, so I'll be off on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. So I'm only working 6 days in a row instead of 7. So I'll take what I can get. Okay, where's my room? I want to change.
Next to mine. Upstairs. To my left.
Oh, there's nothing in the pharmacy for me
Bro, I just busted in
anymore.
this room like my character had to take the meanest shit in the world.
Absolutely.
Yeah, what's up with these ugly ass outfits?
Just act natural, Jason.
Okay, I don't have any.
Oh, I love how. I love how our rooms are next to each other.
I don't know what I want to do outfit-wise. Huh. Ooh, I kind of like this sweater. Let's keep looking, though.
The choice is always yours.
Yeah, I like this
Stay in your room. Oh fuck.
Wow.
I didn't mean to get. I didn't mean to get locked. I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to get locked in there. No, not allowed. No. Fuck.
Stay in your room.
Stay in your room.
Yeah, kind of like this. We go and do this. White or yellow? Probably the white one, right? What do you think, Panda? White or yellow? Yeah, what I thought. So that's what we look like now. Pretty solid.
Oh no.
Wait a minute. My Joe's room, Namu's room, Kimchi. Oh my god. We are all next to each other.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like I like how all our rooms are next to each other.
What do you think for me not unlocking a lot of clothes? It's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Nice.
For me not having a lot of clothes. Yo, I don't want to hear it. The other day, I swear to God, Kimchi, you were turned around. I was like, damn, you thick.
Oh god.
I am not. That's my room. I go.
Yabusayo.
Hell no. Yo, can I help you?
Hey, welcome in, Anthony.
Silk tush.
I don't know.
The absorbent, soft, white toilet
know
tissue.
what that's
1,000 sheets.
What are you doing in the corner of my room?
Tissue paper company. Chester. Huh?
Or harasses me a lot in 7 days. It's okay, Kimchi. Belt.
Sugar fix.
I do.
Flavored
So,
loops.
Kimchi.
Oh, sorry. I don't
Kimchi,
have. I
Panda
don't
goes that I harass him in
that
7
kind of,
days a lot. It's okay. He feels you.
Oh my.
Okay, listen. In 7 days to
Stop,
die.
stop,
You made a
stop,
I just heard
stop.
Kimchi
with
is
a giant
thick.
chest.
No,
No,
Oh,
hold on.
that's
literally.
Twerk
no
video
comment.
coming out soon.
Well, Kimchi, I got a clip. Oh, that's never happening.
You wouldn't know.
Wait, what? Don't want to. Believe
Yo,
me.
no, like literally, Panda made a character, right? In 7 Days to Die. Namu can confirm. Has the biggest chest.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but hold on.
Okay.
So every time I see him and we're out looting on the bikes, I'll just roll up next to him and be like, "Hey, girl, can I get your number?"
Man, brother out here with Brother out here to mask out for Twin Peaks, I promise you.
But does his back hurt?
That's a good question.
Not my problem.
Alright, I'm gonna go grab a drink real quick.
Shampoo.
Yeah.
Board? Soap. Oh, soap. That's a soap.
Oh, there.
Yeah, after a while it doesn't work. Let's get in on this room. Du Bois. Ooh, if you stare at this long enough, it's like kind of creepy. Why do
You
we
guys got
have
used to it already.
toilet paper, right?
Over there.
Did you do your laundry?
But
Yes, I
where's
did my
the
laundry,
bucket?
Luna. I am
Hey,
a responsible
toilet.
adult.
Oh,
Where's the bucket?
My laundry is done. I have clean sheets, clean blanket.
She says
Be
she is.
good.
Oh my
I have
god.
clean
Good
pillowcases.
question.
Sorry to crush everyone's dreams. Jeez, that's what you went to go
You going
do?
to me one of these
Where's
days.
the toilet?
There is none.
But we have toilet paper.
It's like Amazon. You gotta shit in a bag, dude. There's no reason why there's this much laundry in this basket.
I don't think I can do that.
The
That's
Zelda
terrifying.
on Prime is starting.
Listen, it is like an Amazon truck
Wait, was
driver.
it?
You gotta shit in a bag and then dispose of it.
No. I refuse. We got one more, right?
Me too.
The trial?
Mm-hmm.
Two more actually.
Oh,
No,
two more,
of
yeah.
of three? Of part 3?
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
Cleanse
two
the
more
Orphans, the second
apart.
one, and then the final exam.
Nice out, yeah, pretty much.
Ah.
So this is my room.
Basically, you're just going into hard mode and then sane mode afterwards.
I fucking hate the walls, but I don't really have much else for wallpaper, so this will do until I unlock more wallpapers.
I just got
Well,
the
actually,
red
Ori.
brick one. I don't know if I should use that one.
Yes, Namu.
How do you like my Halloween bed? Other than the spiders.
I want. That's fucking
This is
cute.
kind of pretty.
Yeah.
I like the darker one
Look
though.
the show. Maybe
Ooh, I like
This
your
one
rug.
Once I saw me,
matches,
it looked pretty
though.
good at least.
I don't know.
I'll definitely
Namu,
check
I
it out
like
as
your
well.
rug. I like your carpet. It's pretty
I'm trying
nice.
to make it like all natural and everything.
Oh, kimchi, I found what they use as toilet.
Where?
It's the bowls underneath the sink.
Oh god, no.
Absolutely. You gotta go where you gotta go,
Make
man.
your room all orange and purple.
No, there's
Hold
gotta
on,
be something
let me
somewhere.
see. Let's see if I can.
Nah,
make this
fam.
Halloween thing.
If you're in the
If
struggle, that's
Namu's
all you
editing
got.
his rule. If he's editing his room, I'm editing my room.
Wait, what?
I'll cancel trial.
I mean, I do have a jack-o'-lantern over here.
I even have any more decorations.
Anything Halloween related? No. Wallpaper. Yo, when did I get this Victoria's Secret wallpaper looking thing?
You literally said Victoria, and I was like, excuse me, what?
Yeah, I'm still mad they gave me a monkey.
I have
Halloween
that one too.
24/7.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't have anything like that right now.
What, Joe?
Fortunately.
My reward from two rounds ago was a monkey.
Like for
They
your
want me to
room?
put in my.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
your room.
That's kind of funny.
I have one too.
Bro, what
Kinda
the fuck? I like your
suck
carpet.
that,
I
like,
guess that's good enough for now.
After a tiny while, the games are just so easy.
Kimchi,
Yes.
I have another one for you. Ready? Panda
Wait,
said,
do
why
it?
is the
Wait,
bathroom
what?
not the sink itself?
What? Yeah.
Okay. That is a thing some people have
What?
done, unfortunately.
Why?
Go down south, that is a thing in poor areas.
I mean, there is a drain on the floor. The guys can just piss straight into the drain.
Ooh, well,
Pretty
that's
much.
Not
I'm
fair.
not joking.
I guess you can squat if you really want us to.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
Japanese
still out,
toilets,
Lumi.
man.
I mean, y'all can
Oh
try.
They
shit.
took a nap. How was your nap? How was your nap, Illumi?
Nap?
I get a pink
These are.
bed sheet
I
with
just want to
flowers on
say.
it.
I just want to say, guys, these are 4 very different rooms.
What's so different about him?
Okay, but who actually pees in the shower? Is my question.
Who using bricks as wallpaper?
I'm ignoring that question for my own sanity.
I really got nothing to like all grain swamp.
But yeah, I just want to say these are all
Maybe
entirely
later
different rooms.
There'll be like a Halloween stuff. I'll just keep it as
I
it is
want
for
to
now.
change mine
A
from
lot of people
plants
apparently.
to something else.
It is
Some-
gross.
What is?
Nasty. Fucking peeing in the shower. Who the fuck pees in the shower?
A lot of people, more than you think.
That's
Lumi, did
disgusting.
you want to say something about this?
You guys realize that if you pee in the shower, you're going
Sometimes
to let the
I go
bottom of
pee
your
off my
feet
deck and just
soak
yo,
in.
dude, what?
I'm good.
What?
If you pee in the
Okay,
shower,
what?
by default, the bottom of your feet are going to have to.
You sterile.
Oh, there's a bed with
Yeah.
flowers on it? How cute.
Maybe I'll do donuts.
Like, get out of the shower, dry your feet, walk over to the toilet and go, or go before exactly. There's a reason why it's called shit shaped shower. Like,
Bam!
the FBI opened up.
What are you guys doing?
Don't worry what we're doing.
There you go.
I like how I said FBI open up, Joe's hiding in the corner.
Absolutely not. I ain't gonna be caught by no feds today.
Oh, wow, Kimchi and I have like the same wallpaper now.
Do we?
My room looks like an old hotel. Everyone's room looks like an old hotel at this point.
Joe, Panda said smart man.
Absolutely. All right, y'all want me to start the next one, or y'all still modifying your rooms?
My room's done for now.
Cool. She's yours done.
Yeah. I didn't even do anything.
I don't care about. Cool.
I was the only one modifying my room.
Yeah, I'll just stick with. I'm gonna stick with mine for now.
The therapy is ready. Please enter the shuttle.
Oh, I made it up here.
Please step
Damn
into the
it.
trial shuttle.
Don't knock it till you try it.
No, she didn't. She
Don't knock
lying.
what till you try what.
I feel like MK was talking about like
Peeing in the shower?
off the peeing off the deck.
What?
So your whole neighbors can see your dingling? Like, no.
And depending on where your deck is, you might actually hit somebody. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's funny though.
I thought that was like the whole point.
Well, MK says sometimes I go and pee off my deck just to feel above, wait. I'm so confused on what you just said here.
Nabu, I got you.
Sleepy.
Don't knock it till you try it. I love
Me too.
pissing off cliffs when I go on a hike. There's something about being higher. That's what he's
It's
trying
over,
to say.
Anakin. I'm the high ground.
Panda.
Oh man, no, it's a place that no one can go. Just some grass.
Oh god, did I not look up? Jeez.
See, you
I
got
don't
some
know, but I
messed
just
up
saw
thing.
things.
I was going to say, Namu, your chat has me messed up if they think I would go hiking at night in the middle of nowhere.
I used to go hiking at like 2, 3 a.m. in the middle of nowhere.
Good for you.
Really?
I will not make it.
Very true, Panda. But I also have 2 large dogs, so that come with me.
He said, back in my college days, you party hard and get really drunk.
And then piss off a Then piss off a deck.
Hiking is so fun. Not at 2 a.m. though.
I don't know.
I have to do it at like that time at night because my asthma is really bad when it's hot
Unless
out.
you're going for sunrise or sunset. Yo, when I went
no,
to
Panda, you
Can't
see
stop
for me.
yawning.
I didn't really drink underage.
I think you're turning
That's
into
just a personal
Lumi.
thing. And I technically turned 21 this semester. I graduated.
Sleep
So I didn't
stream.
drink that much while I was in college.
Piss off the deck into the pool. Ew. What? Why? People
Oh yeah,
swim
okay.
in
Like,
that.
Okay, here's
when I
the
went
thing.
To,
People
when I went
will
to
pee
Korea,
in like. I feel like it is.
I-
I don't, but I feel like more people be likely to pee while swimming than they would be to pee off a deck. That's just weird to me.
Sorry, guys. Not my type of conversation.
Run from me!
Let's all enjoy some angel dust so we're ready to seize the day!
Over there. This could come in handy. We should grab that.
Yeah, and okay, I got photos. No, I heard you guys. But it's just that Lunar says like he didn't hear from Ori's or Kimchi stream.
Oh no, I hear you at least.
You guys are having the fucking blind person do this. This is like the shittiest idea ever.
You were the one who asked.
Yeah.
Besides, you shall overcome Ori.
Sure.
You're not actually doing bad though.
We'll have some of the craziest cool geographical places. Oh hell, yeah.
Oh boy.
I had fun with this.
I mean, you almost got it.
Yeah, she's close.
I think you just need to.
A little taller, maybe?
No, no, the height is fine. I think that she needs to.
The width? Or frequency?
Yeah, the frequency.
Make your frequency a little. Yeah.
I don't think it's a frequency. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. All right. The girls are on, the infants are
Girls
on.
and
So pretty much
4?
everywhere down the bottom, I guess.
Down the bottom.
For Rockies, I'm going all nature stuff. Oh, nice. I kind of want to do some like hiking around the Rockies. Wow, just goes for Joe. Okay.
There's another trash can next to me.
Wait, catch.
I think Joe found this frequency down there.
Oh God.
There's a mine right here.
Oh.
It's a trap.
He's blind, I think. Where is he? Where'd he go? Wait, did Joe find the frequency?
Oh hell no!
I guess it's not unheard of for a doctor to have sex with his patients. Maybe I should be a veterinarian.
Whatever, I know.
Comes the Saturnalia. You see that? Over there. Look. Watch out.
Careful, Namu. Crazy dude.
Alright, thank you. Can you ping on one? Can you ping him?
He's not in my sight anymore. Also, antidote in the room. Give me a Bioshock version of this. I'd play it. Yeah, hell yeah, I love Bioshock. There's an antidote right here.
Yeah, dude. If I ever had a chance. Well,
Question: how do I
money?
Scroll, wheel, click.
This could come in handy.
No.
Sorry, we're gonna get too much stuff on that.
Oh my God.
Right there.
Cover your ears, children! It's awful!
Hopefully she doesn't check here.
I would have sworn there was somebody here.
I have gooseberry.
That's right, anytime soon. Yeah. I'm a little low, but 20 plus days will be a little too low. Yeah, I totally get what you mean, MK.
Where's the other frequencies?
What?
And where's the other one, the last one? We have 2 out of 3.
Last one should be one of the, hold on, there's a guy over there.
Downstairs, right? Yeah.
Yep, he sees me.
Okay, let's run. From this side?
There's nobody there, Dad.
Where is she? Namu? Where is she?
I have no idea.
I wanna play ATS. Wait, what's ATS? Oh, wait, we got every. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta go down. They got in though.
American Truck Simulator. That's multiplayer? I might give it a shot, bro. Like, there's like a lot of games that I play. Is that your like new? Is that like your new comfort game, Kamal?
You want out, Nama?
Okay, we're at the film area now.
Hold on, he's right here.
Yeah, battery. It's right in there.
Nama, you can't take that out, right?
I know. I'm blocking the door for a reason.
Okay.
So the monster won't be able to come in. And the multiplayer only if you play on your own rocking it. It's more,
There's so many of them.
Wait, sorry, what does that mean? Like you actually have a truck? Wait, let me know. Let me know when you.
Still.
I think they're coming down. I think they're just looking for a way to get downstairs because all the people upstairs.
You might catch him.
Oh, and Joe, you guys know that we're in the film area, right?
Oh gosh.
You know where. Hold on. You do know we are in the film area, right?
Wait, I wonder why they can't hear us.
Start our game, you will not be able to truck on your own. You'll be earned by doing quick jobs. Oh, gotcha. I mean, if I'm ever down to do some American Truck Simulator, I'll let you know.
Hey, lock the door for us. No.
Come in.
Natural habitat.
Of course.
You took it last time. Fuck you.
I did it once. And to be fair, my instincts were on point.
Where are you going with that? I was
Just
gonna.
crack open the notepad.
Okay.
Oh, first one? My bad.
So like keeping is like.
Waiting for someone to take this one, so.
How close are they?
Remember, we have increased
that guy just
enemies,
passed.
so.
That sound thingy.
Open it up.
No.
Your character's making so many noises. It's so funny.
Truck and one trailer of my own. Hey, you've been putting up some work on that game, haven't you, Kamal?
Okay, next one's in.
I'm the man of the house now.
Wait, did you guys put in a new film over there?
Yes.
Okay. Here, Kimchi, why don't you hold on to this?
Okay. Let me know when I put it in.
Alright, I just did one.
Wait, what?
I just got one done. Give me the last one. Yeah, over here. The last reel's over there.
No, I'm holding it.
It's still inside. Put the reel in, Kimchi.
I'm waiting.
I was right there.
No, I'm waiting for the monster to go away. Yeah, I was gonna say we should probably hide.
Okay.
I don't have anything to throw, so it's okay. It would just be for a distraction. We're okay. Okay, we can go out, but I don't know where we would go to. Joe, you good?
Yeah. Just trying to find the right room. Cause that one's oh, I found the secret entrance tunnel. Secret room. Alright. Give me a moment. Oh my god!
Oh man, they're releasing someone.
I had to run.
You see that? Watch out. Over there.
Oh, what the frick?
Cause all the rooms make noises, right?
Do you guys need help?
If y'all know where the right room is, that'd be cool.
Wait, Joe, where is it?
This is the room.
You see that?
Oh, secret room. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, oh, buttons over here, buttons over here, buttons over here. I got one. Yeah.
Always. Now if I close the street.
Fucking cats.
What the heck is he?
I'll grab the reds.
I was supposed to save that for Ori.
Where did he go?
I'll give you something else.
Oh, the secret room is just a bathroom.
We'll take the stamina booster.
Fuck, that was hella scary. I popped out by accident. And he's like right there. Behind me.
Yeah, I thought this last one on least the right one. I don't hear any noise.
Machete's right here by the window.
And they can do that one.
Scratching my arm.
Look.
Oh boy.
You're close, be careful.
What's with the cat face?
Watch out.
Fuck, I think she saw me. Oh, yep. Wait. What? Oh, fuck me.
You're free!
No, I took damage. Fucking sucks.
One more to go.
One more.
And not make you throw it at him.
Naked ping?
What?
Thank you, Pete. That's what she said.
Keep checking trash cans.
That's what he wish he said.
You good, Joe?
Get my ass beat.
Ouch.
Naked dude's over there. That's where the final classroom is.
How'd you find it?
I would just get in the rig because it constantly have my whole face. I'm just letting them get the objective and then we run.
High level strategy.
I would. You guys always have penalty.
I don't know what to do with this part, so...
Wait, Namu. Alright. Have you done...
Yeah, I pulled
Namu. Have you done the room on the right and the room on the left of me?
The room behind you, yes.
On to the right.
No, this one's done. This one's done.
Okay, so it's not these two rooms.
9 out of 10
Oh shit.
when I'm trying to help them with set objectives, I get chased by all 3 killers, and we ain't about to do that.
Nope.
Where is this last classroom? What the heck?
Upstairs?
Wow. Let's check upstairs.
Is there a classroom
Take me upstairs, can it?
No, it's definitely not upstairs. Oh wait, hold up a second.
Oh,
In here.
jumped down.
Ah. Oh, yo, like, don't do that kind of stuff. Come on. Hey, Serenity, how are you?
This looks useful. Watch out.
Oh my god.
You see that? X pump right there.
Found it?
Yeah.
Alright, coming towards you. There's a big boy coming over your way.
Watch out.
Cocaine?
What?
Yeah, I found it. I'm right next to them.
Yeah, I put the film in. I'm good, how are you? I'm doing good as well. Although I had a rough day at work, but at the same time, I'm just like, my time to like,
Fuck, that scared me. That was so loud.
It's time for Mass. Please report to the chapel for a reading in our afternoon prayers.
Troy, that's my game.
Wait, this way.
By any chance, if anyone with batteries, let me know.
Watch.
Take it if you want it.
There, Ori, just in case.
I don't need it.
Ori?
Sure?
Do I sound like Ori?
Actually, Ori, no, here's Ori, take a health booster at least.
No, I'm gonna give a battery let me have it. I'm out.
Okay, I'll give you.
Did not count.
I'm giving you the battery.
They had me. Oh my god, they're having a party.
That man, Nikki, yeah, pretty much.
And then the Lord says,
I'm trying to leave.
Well, what you doing, sir? Serenity?
Star
Some scary
and
stuff.
moon.
It is some scary stuff.
Star and moon.
Actually, what do we need?
Generator
Oh,
down
sorry.
here. Generator? Nobody? Nobody?
I'm coming. Wait, bottle. I'm coming.
My hands are full. Actually, you want a syringe? Do somebody dies?
I was drawing. Oh, what are you drawing? Some more like Twitch stuff?
Dark dog thought on me.
So we found Star. We need to find. Yeah. I think I'm going to guess. I'll come over here.
Yeah, working on an overlay. Nice.
I'm pretty sure Moon will probably be on the other side.
Namu, can you take that brick right there?
Yeah, I took it.
Okay, can you disarm that?
Oh, disarm it?
Yeah.
Lando, they're doing gens, I'm pretty sure.
Thank you. It'll be easier for us to walk around later.
Also, I'm gonna put a mine right in here just in case.
Okay.
Oh.
Get him away from me.
Make it. No. You gotta move. Oh, yeah, actually, no. Keep doing what you gotta do. Keep doing what you gotta do. Keep doing what you gotta do.
Clop.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh yeah, we'll be fine for a while. All right, got that down.
Yep, you just need to rev it up.
We got both the keys.
All right, let's move.
Fuck, he got me.
Oh shit. Oh, you're good.
There's a screamer. Fuck.
Wait, can you have this way?
Yeah. There's a screamer.
Gremlins.
Follow me.
He's right behind me.
Clear those rats.
I would definitely love to see it, Serenity, sure.
Over there.
Oh yeah, you definitely saw me?
Okay, keep him over there. I have this one.
You should be good for a while. I'm setting another mine over here.
Okay, thank you.
You afraid of
Wait, fuck.
Just keep going.
I can't. The
Never
screamer.
mind.
Yeah.
Right there.
You think I'm deaf? You stupid bastard.
He's lying for a while. Hold on.
It's like you want to be found. Aren't you noisy?
Over there. Watch out
Stomp,
over there.
stomp.
That's for everyone else. People's chats, I guess. Oh, there's a second syringe.
Okay, you should be good for a while.
I'm good. I already have one. I'll mark it. I can't even know who wants it. Wait for y'all. You guys need help with it? Do y'all need help or y'all got it?
Uh-oh.
No, you don't need help. Y'all good?
Nope. We running.
Be good.
Here's the exit.
Ah.
Oh my god, I hate this.
Oh, not this way. This way.
We can disarm this too, though.
Where?
Yeah. I'm just gonna put my battery up.
Oh.
Behind the chopping legs process or behind the breaking legs? No. So
We here.
they never chop.
Oh.
The torture was you're supposed to carry your own cross. You're nailed by your hands and your feet, and then you have your legs broken so you can't lift yourself up to get air.
And know that the Lord Jesus, the same
I don't have a brick or anything.
I saw mine.
Or use this.
Oh, Namu, there's a syringe right there.
Here, just take this.
I have a syringe on me as well.
Use the adrenaline so you can get really, really fast.
Alright, let her hit the mine. Let her. Okay, never mind.
Oh, you.
I just thought that mine.
Oh my god! I thought it was real Ori. I was fake Ori.
Oh boy. Come on.
That's too easy now.
He's a camper.
Light work.
AB. Ab.
Okay, I think that was my last time. I finally leveled up though. So that's great.
Nice.
Probably gonna find.
Yeah, same here.
There's a hairstyle. Okay.
An adequate performance. That's how 99% of the world
I
gets
did
by.
mess up a Lumi. Ha!
The mediocrity by
win.
which we'll all end up drowning in a bloody sewer. But I'm glad you tried. I am.
Yep, good stream, Lunar.
Let's see what we have up in this room. Good streams. Good streams.
Wait, I'm cracking up on your end.
What did we get? We got
Alright.
this shirt. The stars.
I'm gonna start raiding off, so I'll see you guys later.
Who are you reading, Namu?
Yeah, bye.
Wait,
No,
Namu.
yes, who are you rating?
Never mind. He just dipped. It's okay. We can raid different people. Ow, fuck. Oh, my leg. Lately, my body has been giving up on me. I'm not gonna lie. It's been bad. Let's go find someone to raid out to. Oh, I hope everyone had a good day. I definitely had a very rough day, so yeah. Very, very rough day. There's some really tough things happening at work right now, so it's been a little crazy. It's been a lot. Let's go see who Namu's reading out to. Let's see. Maybe we can just double raid that person. But yes, I'll most likely stream again tomorrow. I'm not sure what I wanted to stream. I really don't know. I might do a plant stream tomorrow, maybe. Most likely. I'll do a plant stream tomorrow. What else? Plant stream. Maybe we'll play. I don't know. I kind of want to finish Ooblets, but I'd have to play the game a little bit because it would just be me trying to figure out what the game is like all over again. So yeah. Okay. We're gonna raid out to Nautical, which sounds good to me. I'm actually really beat, guys. I had such a long freaking day. It's been so crazy at work, and I'm glad that you guys were able to come by and share the end of my day with me. It's been great. I had some fun Fall Guys gaming and stuff like that, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, bye, bye. Sleep well.